you hiding here in the near clear blue?
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and even the United States government.
Hey, the Pro Show is on!
Awesome! Let's turn it on.
Guys? Where'd you go?
Morty, let's check in on Ryan Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay. I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray?
Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah. I hate it.
It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Bluey, you fools.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird.
Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga. Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you. Always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
It's scooping time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright, everyone, put on your opera glasses. Oh boy,
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Chicken jockey.
All right, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man.
Are you okay?
They'll never take our freedom.
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies and the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, It's the WDW Pro Show! Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
All right, Lauren Connor, it's time for the best time you could have on a Wednesday. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Welcome back, Lauren.
Thanks. Glad to be here tonight.
Glad to have you, sir. And folks, we were running just a few minutes late. We are never, ever late. We don't believe in that sort of thing, but we had an error with one of the files and had to fix that real fast. Show could not start without it. We apologize, but we got a heck of a show on the way for you all. We promise, with a panel of excellence just like you deserve. Before we swerve on over and bring them in to the crazy car that is Holly Weird, let's get the super chats, and we're going to be fast because we are a little late. What's that super chat goal, folks? Tonight, if we hit the 50, boy, that's a big one. But folks, the reason is, if we hit the 50, if we hit that 50 pro, that's me, you know, I've got to go watch Sheep Detective. Is it Sheep Detective or Sheep Detectives, Lauren?
I don't know. I'll look it up real quick.
And I feel like I have to really hit that P hard, you know, Sheep Detectives.
It is the Sheep Detectives.
Oh, the Sheep Detectives. All right. Well, there you go, folks. It's not a Sheep Detective. It's the Sheep Detectives. All right. I'll have to go watch it because I told you all that there was no way on God's green earth that movie was going to be anything other than bad. And it turns out everybody tells me, nope, bro, you're missing out. It's practically It's a Wonderful Life with sheep. So I'm being forced to go see it. You hit the 50, I'll watch it. I'll review it on the channel. Juliet for 2. Morning, Pro, panel, and Pro Rights. And good morning to a fabulous mod out there. Snarky Stink Nugget for 199 looks like Lauren to me.
Well, that's new, but I like it.
All right. Lauren, can you make that face? Does it look like you if you make the face? I don't know. Whoa, easy, Lauren. Calm down, man. Snarky for 199. Oh, no. My hat says it all. It's a Fudge Dora Enfambe, I believe. We've got Kelly out for 5. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? 'Tis the 4 seasons to celebrate. Peepaw's very desperate kiss on the air with Colbert. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be discussing the Pedro Pascal kiss tonight because we're going to be discussing it tomorrow as the headline story with Critical Drinker. Hang tight. We will get there. Critical Drinker and yours truly will talk about how desperate they must be. Peepaw smooching Colbert on the lips. We'll go there tomorrow. Tonight, we got plenty. Hang tight. You'll see. Kenneth LaRoque has been a member for 29 months. What a pleasure. What an honor to have such a person as yourself joining us in this endeavor for so long. Pastor of Muppets for 10. For the goal. Been a bit since I could super chat. Financial situation is getting back on track. I hope Leno gives Kimmel the roast of a lifetime. Hang tight, Pastor of Muppets. We will play your clip in just a minute. Irate Specialist for 199 for the Wilton-only Rings of Power watch party. You sinister, sinister man. What is wrong with you? Ryan Charlton, member for 3 months. Never really know what to put in these things. Letters. Sometimes numbers. Mostly letters. Ciani Reese for 499. Here is my one contribution to the goal. Oh, and hello, panel. Well, only half of us are here, but we say hello back to you. And we've got Patrick Ganaway for 2. Lorne!
Patrick!
Well done. John for 5. The Los Angeles mayor race has brought us a better Star Wars ad than Disney gave us movies. Yeah, that's not a bar so high. But you know what is a bar so high? This panel of excellence. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, the man from Midnight's Edge. He's always on the edge of what's happening in Hollywood. He is Tom Connors. The gloved one. Or is it gloved? I don't know. Tom will be here in a second. He's muted. We don't know if he knows it. And folks, also, please welcome, coming back to the channel for the second time after a stellar first performance that left so many of you saying, please, bro, we need more Cogman Lee. And I agree. I can't wait for the conversations tonight. Get ready. Get set. It's Cogman Lee. Welcome back, sir.
What is going on, folks? Thanks so much for having me. I think we were late because of me. We're running on Asian time. So the one time you got the Asian, we're running on Asian time.
Totally
so I do apologize. You can blame the Asian.
Does that mean, Tom, you're Asian?
I'm aging.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
And it's beloved.
You know what I love is that Tom understood the power of the awkward pause. It would be for lesser YouTube channels. It would have been easy for us all to just like escape that, but we all sat in it, and Tom knew the moment is coming for the hit. Thank you, Tom.
That's right.
John for 5. John, we got yours. Thank you, buddy. And Snarky for $4.99. I gifted 5 early. Did a $20 super. Hope the error didn't affect them. Lauren, will you do me a favor? Will you go back through the chats and see if Snarky put it in any that we didn't get? He's got the whiz hat. Look at that guy. Look and see if there are any. They're not showing in StreamYard, but that doesn't mean much anymore. And Pastor Muppets, we promised you we'd play the clip. We'll play one for Snarky too. Get ready, folks. We're going back to Pastor of Muppets. Oh, gosh. Let's sweep away the cobwebs here. It's been a while since we've been over here for Pastor. Oh, there it is. Right there.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was heard.
All right, the time is right for a fantastic night of understanding what the heck is going on in Holly Weird. We'll dive in, but first, Patrick Ganaway gifting 5 more Wunderbar WDW Pro memberships. You know, if I had to do things over again, I think I would have just called the channel Pro. You know how hard it is every single time to say WDW? It's not the easiest thing to say. You trip over it. It's not.
Perfect.
Again, folks, we want to say a big thank you to everybody out there supporting us, contributing. You keep the hamsters fed. You keep the wheels moving. You keep Somewhere Sunny USA flowing, glowing, and growing every single day. The dream to stream comes true because of you. It's time. Let's dive in. Holly Weird, we're coming for you. Specifically, Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel. You know, the Walt Disney Company, they deserve every single bit of this. I don't know if the new leadership deserves it. Josh tomorrow, maybe the new CEO doesn't deserve it. But the company at large, they deserve this because they continue to play with fire. And that fire is Jimmy Kimmel. He wants to be fired. We've talked about this ad nauseum here, and we're nauseous because of Jimmy Kimmel, but we've talked about this so many times. There is a vested interest for Jimmy Kimmel in his final year of his contract to find a way to become a martyr. And he's determined. And yet again, he's proven it and made Disney pay for it. This time, shaming their leadership, embarrassing them purposefully. Some might call it a hazing in front of the ad buyers, the money men and women. From Dominic Patton out of Deadline, Jimmy Kimmel takes no prisoners in Disney upfront monologue. Now, before I even tell you any more about this, some of you out there are saying, what the heck is a Disney upfront monologue? What? Okay. What this is, Disney puts on a thing with a big show, big hoorah, right? They get the Ritz out there, the glam, and they bring in all the ad buyers for a big show, and they put out all the stuff that means, hey, ad buyers, you want to be a partner with Disney. The whole idea is to make Disney look good. So when Jimmy Kimmel is said to have come up and taken no prisoners at this, that would be like showing up with brass knuckles to a 5-year-old clown birthday party. Like, not the time, Jimmy. Says, quote, I've been through so much bull cuss this year, made me appreciate this bull excrement. Did I hear somebody come in, Lauren?
What's that? Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard somebody coming in on that one.
Well, I was just going to make a sound effect noise, but at the end of the day, isn't this what they used to call sweeps?
Kinda.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, it's kind of the timing of that, yeah.
We're in the sweeps right now, that's right. But just listen to this. Remember, Disney has assembled the people who want to spend money for Disney on ABC and Disney Plus, and Jimmy Kimmel's supposed to come out there and tell some funny jokes and make people happy, and he used this to rub Disney executives' faces in his flatulation, right? He took this opportunity to absolutely ridicule them in front of the money people. It says, even by Jimmy Kimmel standards, it's been quite the crazy ride for ABC's late night host since he was last on stage in New York for a Disney upfront presentation. Quote, I have to admit, I've been through so much bull cuss this year, it actually made me appreciate it. He said he told Disney brass, stars, and assembled ad buyers Tuesday at this year's gathering at the Javits Center. Javits, which is why the self-described bad boy of data and measurement solutions added, I cost our company a lot of money this year. Billions. All the hits keep coming. That's right. He actually bragged to the ad buyers with Josh Tomorrow and Dana Wald in the front row, I cost this company billions. Some might say, well, now that's just a joke, pro. No. If the FCC takes the licenses from these ABC stations, he cost them billions. Introduced by Ryan Seacrest, Kimmel hit the stage today to big applause and unsheathed his satire swords fast, furious, and funny. Quote, it is very possible that no employee in the history of any company has cost their employer more. Hiring me 24 years ago, just from a purely mathematical standpoint, was the worst personnel decision that the Disney Corporation has ever made. Not even the captain of the Exxon Valdez did more damage. Pummeling kept going on. Let's see here. Of course, it talks about the expectant widow and all this. This is what he tells the ad buyers, who, remember, are squeamish right now about him because they're worried, like, does McDonald's want to come on with Jimmy Kimmel when he says this kind of stuff? So Kimmel, he leans into it. He says, yes, the president has tried to get me twice over the last 6 months. That's one way to look at it. Another way you could say, I've generated unparalleled engagement across a variety of platforms this year, largely thanks to our partners in Washington. We are up 25% among viewers. Yes, in Washington. He says, usually in order for ABC to pull you off the air, you have to throw a chair at your Mormon boyfriend. It's a nod to something else going on another show on Disney. Here are some of the quotes, though. He says, since I started ABC, I've had 3 CEOs, Bob, and Josh. Josh's last name is pronounced tomorrow, as in all the shows you saw earlier will be canceled tomorrow. It's moderately funny. He says, I was on the Late Show last night with Stephen Colbert. As you know, CBS is turning 11:35 into a least time slot. Least as in least likely to offend the president with a rerun of Comics Unleashed from 2007. We'll leave that one there. He says, in the past, I've come here to mock the other network shows. It was all very competitive, but now we're like a bunch of dirty, starving little chihuahuas under the table waiting for a chicken leg to drop. For the first time, I think ever, I'm rooting for CBS. They've got a lot of great returning shows, and they've got some great new shows. NCIS New York answers the question, what if LL Cool J partnered up with another white guy in a different city? Goes on and on and on and on. Even to this point, and then I'll wrap it up and hand it to the panel. He says, as for us at ABC, except for all the, well, we can't say that on YouTube. Except for all of the household physical attacks, we're doing really great. Dancing with the Stars is hotter than your grandma's underpants at a Michael Bublé show. The Rookie was the most streamed show among viewers under 18. Young people love The Rookie. And do you know why? I'm actually asking, why does anyone know why this is happening? This is like finding out tweens love Triscuits. But ultimately, it was the hits on Disney itself claiming that he's cost the company billions and bragging about it right to the ad buyers' faces. Cogman, I want to go to you first on this. Jimmy Kimmel is just an abrasive, unfunny man. I struggle as I read through these. If I had a teleprompter and I was standing there, I can't make them funny. He can't make them funny. They're not funny. The jokes aren't funny. They're just mean-spirited. And we call that comedy now. So what do you make of the idea that this man stood in front of the executives, the ad buyers, and everybody else and basically said, I dare you to fire me. Let me just unleash on you as well.
Well, he has a martyr complex. He's obsessed with being this martyr. And he knows, he even admitted to himself that his ratings, his viewership, his engagement has gone up ever since Trump has attacked him. This is the exact reason why Kimmel started with that joke with Melania Trump and said, oh, you'll be an expected widow. You have to glow like an expected widow, because he's insinuating that he wants, or he's advocating for, an unfortunate circumstance and, thing to fall upon our president, which is a horrific thing to say. And it's not even funny. It's not even funny, but he does this to generate controversy. And this is why when you look at these writing rooms, the writers' rooms, and people like Jimmy Kimmel, they're not funny. They're activists. They're activists first and foremost, because that's the only way by which they can generate engagement. And through controversy, they drive engagement. And so this is actually why a lot of huge mainstream media outlets have really leaned in, especially into their obsession of being anti-Trump, because their obsession of outrage porn and I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but just constant
knows
farming.
anymore?
Yeah, farming outrage that drives engagement, which then they can sell to their advertisers and say, hey, look at all these clicks that we got. Look at how much retention we get. And so that's the cycle that they found themselves in. And they know that as Jimmy Kimmel, if he's like branded, if he brands himself as, oh, the president of the United States, literally Hitler is coming after me, then he knows that people will start watching his stuff more by sheer just by the sheer idea that he is this martyr who's fighting for freedom of speech, when in actuality he's just funny. And so he's not funny. He hasn't been funny for a very, very long time, and he relies on controversy instead of humor to drive viewership and engagement. And so that's what he's doing right now. I think it's pathetic, and yeah, it's just not funny. It's like, if it's one thing if it's dark humor that's funny, but it's not funny to just say like, hey, let's wish death upon this person.
You're exactly right. What's amazing to me is the audacity. He's supposed to go up there, do the Ryan Seacrest. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to tell very safe jokes to ad buyers and convince them that he's a safe place for them to spend their money. And instead, Tom, he doubled, tripled down and basically said, yeah, I'm the guy that if you buy commercials with me, I'm going to attack Trump. And by the way, I'm also going to dump on my own company and tell you, I've cost you billions and I'm happy about it. And that's the kind of thing that I think he's kind of daring the top new executives. Fire me. And if you're not going to fire me, he's going to shame them. He's just going to make fun of them because he knows that he holds all the power here. They're scared to say goodbye, Jimmy, Tom.
Well, I haven't actually seen the clip or heard it in actual context, because I will give him this little bit of a caveat that some of those things he's saying were clearly meant to be jokes, but they're just not that fucking funny. Sorry about the language. Sorry about that. But that's the truth. Like, the guy has never been funny. He is, the only times he ever is funny is when he's playing this awkward idiot. And even those times were like, the Matt Damon jokes, and stuff like that. Honestly, he is probably trying to get fired because then he gets to be more of a martyr again, as pointed out before. Right? Because that's all he's doing. He's creating this image that Trump's coming after him and he's Trump's biggest arch enemy right now, when in actuality, a lot of the problems he has are his own doing, right? Because it's the FCC, and I brought this up before, I don't know if I brought it up on your guys' show, but the FCC actually doing its job for the first time in years is where he got this, notion that he's under attack, when really it was more like the FCC was letting too much go over the last 10, 20 years, if you ask me. Because one thing I had to keep explaining to people is the big difference between something like CNN or Fox News that are on cable channels. Kimmel himself being on a network channel carries its own weight with it. Like when I went on radio, I had to get my FCC license. And with that FCC license, you have to understand that you cannot say or do certain things like I just did a half a minute ago on the radio, right? I would get fired instantly. And not only that, my station could face a huge fine.
You're lucky we love you, Tom. You're lucky we love you so much.
And it was a slip, and I apologize, especially to the families listening. But at the end of the day, what it really boils down to is Kimmel's put himself into these positions because he said things that are untrue, regardless if you want to pretend they're a joke or not, or how he's trying to restructure the context of what he said about the Charlie Kirk incident, and the other stuff he's done recently with the Melania Trump comment and some that happened 2-3 days before the attempted assassination again.
Yeah,
and I mean, how many?
The problem was that he doubled down after that, right? And if he had said, that came out poorly based on the recent news, but he doubled down, he tripled down, and made more jokes about it. It's like, okay, now,
it was a stupid joke to make in the first place because you already put yourself in a position of that, like, okay, 2 days after you said this joke or 3 days, that actually is attempted. Now you're like, wow, that joke aged poorly, right? Like, but not only that, this president has already had how many attempted assassinations on his life? Probably the most in history. Those are not the type of jokes you should be making when that's already happening, right? Like that's pretty dumb. I could never even see Johnny Carson coming out and saying anything remotely close to that. right? And that's kind of where I'm sure we'll get into the Jay Leno stuff is like, look, when you're on one of these platforms, especially a network, you got to kind of be neutral and or at least appear to be neutral, right? Because otherwise you're going to get yourself in a position where over time people are going to associate you with a certain side. And then when you say things like this, it's kind of hard to say, well, I was just kidding, or it just came off as an off-color joke and I apologize, right? Like you can't do that anymore because it's pretty obvious that this guy has an issue with Trump and always has, because he can't shut up about him.
Well, I think his wife, who's the producer, she can't stop. Lauren, the other thing about this is the timing, and that's the context that people need to know about, I believe, because we had heard and we had reported on this very briefly that what we believe has happened is that Disney executives essentially said, no, Jimmy, be good. Don't do this again. You got to tone it down. That was the big response to the Melania Trump thing, right? Behind the scenes, come on, Jimmy, come on. You don't. And he did this while they were in the front row with the ad buyers. I think this was a message to them. I'm not going to tone it down. We're going to play chicken together. But the problem is, I actually want you to run me over. I want you to fire me. There's no winning here. You either jump out of my way and I win, or you run me over and I go out a martyr and I win. He's happy either way, but he's not going to back down.
I agree. He's made a strategic decision. There is not a lose condition for him, except the shtick that he's doing is the same kind of thing that you see with the class clown in high school. Somebody who's loud and makes crude jokes and tries to disrupt the class. And what you have is a teacher who is not disciplining him because he doesn't want to look like like the clown has gotten under his skin. In this case, the clown wins either way. But the problem is, eventually, those jokes do great if you don't have anything else in your arsenal. So it may be that what they're hoping is that he just keeps doing it until the audience gets bored and he becomes irrelevant. But I don't think that's necessarily a smart move for them. Continuing the teacher analogy, I think the smarter thing to do would be to lift him up out of his desk and hang him by his coat on the coat hooks and just let him hang there for a while and see how that goes.
The problem with this is, and there's another third possibility here, and that is that this is the approved message that they are putting across, because as we know, a lot of these businesses are just as pro-woke as Disney. And that's probably the main reason why Disney leans into it so hard, because we've had all this stuff happen in the last 2 decades, or decade at least, where they've gone, well, that's where the money is and that's what we've got to do to make the money, right? So, and it could even very well be that they're telling Jimmy to say these kind of things to the advertisers so they know that he is going to keep it up with the pressure and that he is going to keep testing Trump. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't put him up to it.
Can I throw a question out there just out of curiosity?
Go for it.
Is there a possibility that he has some kind of a non-compete clause after he leaves the company where he cannot start a new talk show unless he's fired?
I would think that I would think the non-compete comes in if he decides to quit. I would be surprised if he's got a non-compete following the completion of the contract.
I would think so, because at this point, that's the other thing, is they could put him on Hulu anytime. They could have put him on any other cable stations anytime. They have FX, they've got plenty of them. Heck, I've even said ESPN. Why don't they just put the Jimmy Kimmel Show on ESPN? Almost every home in America has that. Even though it's not a network, he can say whatever the heck he wants on there, and there's nothing the FCC can do. That's the thing he don't understand, and that's the other thing that ABC is kind of toying with, is that at the end of the day, these would not really amount to much more than fines in most cases, but they keep piling things on top of each other, and he's part of the problem. And eventually, that dog is going to bite, right?
Here's my callous take on that, Tom, and anybody can weigh in on this, of course, but my callous take on this is that the way Disney approached the situation when they decided to bring him back and then re-sign him to essentially a 1-year farewell extension contract deal, because that's all that is. There's never a 1-year deal at this level that's not a farewell. The reason I think they did that is they said, okay, Colbert's going to leave. If he leaves at the same time, that's going to muddy up the waters. We're going to take a lot of fire for that. But Kimmel's going to go into the midterms with one less competitor. It's him versus Fallon in the midterms. What is Kimmel going to do? He's going to be political. So in the midterms, that's to our favor. And then he exits right after that. The problem for Disney is they've miscalculated, because This guy he's a venomous viper. He's going to bite them. He bites everybody, and you can't play with this guy. He's determined to make this an error on their part. That's what I think anyway. All right, folks. That's the situation with Kimmel right now, and that's why Disney is in bed with a snake. Never a good place to put one of those things. Ask everybody out there who has an ex-spouse. They'll tell you. Can I tell you that's an old SNL joke that I stole from Will Ferrell? You guys remember the
That's a great joke.
you remember the joke or the skit where he is an old prospector? It was discarded. It's only on the Will Ferrell DVD. Did I say Will Ferrell or Will Smith at first? Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell on DVD, his the one that's devoted to him, the DVD where they used to do this thing where they would do a specific DVD or Blu-ray to highlight one of their comedians. The discarded skits, one of those for Will Ferrell was him as an old prospector. And he says to one of the other cast members, he says, "I used to sleep with a snake in my bed." And the person says, "Oh, did you?" And he says, "Oh, yeah, it was my ex-wife." Oh, it's a great one. Folks, if you've not seen the old prospector, we can't play it for copyright reasons, but go find the old prospector with Will Ferrell. It is wonderful. All right, super chats, here we go. The real super shadow for 199, power to the Niners, so Jonas can delete the Oranges Farmer intro. I told Jonas that is just a ticking clock until we have to have a powwow. So I just thought it was good for us to get rid of that thing. The intro was 3 years old anyway. And, the kinds of sources that we've been cited by in the last 3 years, like we said, is like the U.S. government has cited us. We're going to include that now. You betcha. Bad Hombre Berkey is out there for 20. Hey, guys, I shuddered when you said those guys smoochified. Yeah. How about The Moat in God's Eye as a film? I'm 64, not a Disney fan except at 5 years old, chanting, "Cartoon, cartoon, cartoon," hoping for next week's preview. Bad Hombre Berkey, thank you. And you're going to have to be there tomorrow. We're going to talk about the smooch heard around the world, and which also made the entire world hurl. We'll talk about it. I will get the panel's opinion on this, though, first. What is going on with the Mandalorian marketing strategy here? Because we were told that Pedro was the internet's daddy. He was proper masculinity. He was El Macho Man. Oh, yeah, I'm Pedro. That was like the last 3 or 4 years. We've had women hanging off of him. And finally, weeks before the Mando movie comes out, they're like, "Oh, by the way, he's gay."
Macho man by way of the Village People.
Macho. Oh, that kind of macho.
Did they finally have confirmed that he's out of the closet now?
Oh, Lord, Tom, he's been palling around with a boy toy in Spain for the last 3 weeks. Everybody's
That's what
covering
we thought.
it. Yeah, he's smooching, man. He's smooching Jimmy Kimmel. It's real, man. Yeah. Bad.
The man-on-man show.
Take those junkies. Rob is out there for 2. Real life fake wizard raid. Toll tax as always. Somewhere out there, deep in space, a fake wizard is just waiting to appear. Lauren, do you have the signal?
He's not giving me anything at the moment, but we can always throw him in there and see what happens.
Wizards in space. Wizard, are you
cold.
there?
It's cold out here.
Also, it smells like burnt steak.
Wizard,
Yeah.
Cogman Lee, Wizard. Have you guys shared a panel before? Did you share the last time we were together?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
That's right. I
Here on
remember
your
that.
show.
We all had a great time together. It
That
was
a
good.
great show.
Yeah. Wizard, what is the purpose currently? Are you building a Dyson sphere? Are you have you gone interstellar? What are you doing out there, sir?
I'm evading the IRS.
Well,
that's great.
And for legal reasons, that's a joke.
But it's not. Andrew Fay for $49.99. Off topic. Pro, your predictions are proving true. We try. Talent is finally revealing itself, and where it has been hiding in Hollywood. Have you seen the new Barbie advertisement for Spencer Pratt? AI continues to advance at a remarkable pace. I have not seen the new Barbie advertisement. I did see. Oh, who's the new who's the actress who's now saying we got to get on with AI? Demi Lovato, I think. Was it Demi Lovato? Is that who's out there saying? No, that doesn't sound right. There's an actress who is now advocating, a major actress advocating for AI. And I think, okay, well, that wasn't on my bingo card. Another, I think it was Jennifer Aniston before and Reese Witherspoon. It's like, what's going on here? Like, did OpenAI put out a call to the lady actresses and say, how much does it cost? I don't know.
I have a theory.
Please.
Because most of those have gone past their shelf life.
Yep.
So if they can do AI versions of them, that's more money in their banking accounts.
Holy moly, you got it right. Tom, I hadn't put that together yet. How did I not see that? They can be de-aged by AI and they're just fine with it. They get all the roles again. Tom, did you see Sandra Bullock in that new chick comedy movie coming out next year? Did you see that?
Thank God, no, I have not.
You don't like Sandra Bullock?
I think she's fine, but...
What do you mean by fine? That is not...
Unless I'm dating someone, I'm not watching any Sandra Bullock movie that doesn't have Demolition Man or Speed in the title.
Okay, fair enough. You want Speed? What number would it be now? Speed 3, Speed 4, Speed 5? What are we up to?
I don't know.
Okay.
There's too many too fast.
I can tell you love the franchise. John for 5.
Combine the two.
He's trying to farm a Batman versus Joker relationship.
I think that sounds pretty accurate. Yep.
I agree. Snarky with how many hats does Lorne? The gauntlet, the headwear gauntlet has been thrown down. Snarky has a different hat for every single super chat.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going to overtake both me and William. He's getting really a lot of aura farming here. His red arrow is going up.
All right. Snarky to sneak number 499, having fun with chocolate and chicken theme. Rock helps a lot, being unique. Thanks, Pro. You started it. It's great. And Lauren, would you read this super chat for me while I take a look behind the scenes?
I'm going to have to be careful with this one, I think. Bad Hombre Berkey for $5. Kimmel started as a dirtbag. Make-upped, big women bouncing, total crap. Pathetic from the get-go. Amazing he ever got a platform. Hollywood, baby.
You know, this is one of those special super chats where when I see it, I'm not sure if it's a typo, and that should have been ghetto. I don't know. Maybe get-go, maybe ghetto. Who knows?
From the get-go.
That's right. Little baby born and the get-go. All right, folks, back in charge. Snarky for $4.99 and a new hat indeed. The mouse is festering. Whoa! The mouse is festering. Puss in Boots pocket pimple. No win for the mouse as it appears. Snarky, easy on the ears, buddy. That's a level of grotesque. Woo! Bruce is out there for $4.99. Says Disney should move Kimmel to 12:35 a.m. It would be a subtle humiliation that would push Kimmel to lose ego or quit. I think this every time they claim that he's number 2 or 3 at the 11:35 slot. Because I don't know if you all know this, but who's number 1 in the 7:35 slot? I have no idea. Because there are not 7:35 slots unless you're on TBS. Other than that, who knows, right? Let's see. Patrick,
I'm willing to bet that reruns of Friends probably gives it a run for its money.
Reruns of Friends dominates it. Listen.
I don't know what's on, but I mean.
Tom, this is like The View, okay? Disney will put out a claim from The View that says that it's the number 1 daytime news talk show on network TV. Well, now that's a 3-hour segment that's considered daytime because there's morning, there's daytime, there's afternoon. Daytime is 3 hours. I think it's 10:30 to 2:30, something like that. If you compare, though, The View to The Price is Right, The Price is Right has quadrupled the viewership. They put all of these stipulations so that they can claim they're number 1 or number 2. Kimmel, when they say he's number 1 or number 2, and he's always number 2 at 11:35, it's like, come on, guys, come on. Hey, Patrick, I see your super chat, and you and I both know the reason I can't put it on the screen, but I will read it to the best of my ability. Patrick says, for 5, someone in a past show used the Old Yeller analogy, and then he goes on to talk about Old Yeller in regards to late night. Patrick, we can't put that up there because it may be seen as a call for something by YouTube. I know you're not doing that, but we just have to be careful. Also, Kaylee for 5, Wizard. Is Mexican Iron Man with you? He's still crying over his Disney stock losses.
He's not with me. Yeah. I don't know.
I told him we should have bought in on Warner Brothers. He didn't listen.
Oh, darn it, Tom. And before that was NVIDIA. The man just will not pay attention to you. You wear the crown.
Nintendo's on sale.
The Grogu crown.
Hey, Tom, how much did you spend for the Mando lunchbox or whatever it is at Burger King? How much does it cost?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Get it.
Okay. Somebody else got your
free.
crown? They gave the crowns away for free?
According to Marvin, it's about $18 for that meal.
Yeah, it's $19.99 by me, and it's $24.99 in California.
Yeah, hell with that.
Jeez.
It's not even good. It's not worth it.
Well, see, that's where I was actually trying to go. I was going to get Tom to review the food. Wiz, you've eaten this thing?
Yes, it's like chemical garlic flavor. It's not good.
Huh. Well, when you put it that way,
Why would you put garlic on anything like that, though? Because kids are not going to be a fan of that.
It's a chemical. It's supposed to be a barbecue burger. It's not. It's got these pickle chips on that are not very good. It's the chicken fries are chemically garlic. I say chemical garlic because it doesn't taste like garlic. It tastes like something wrong that came out of a lab. The cheesy tots are garlic. The dipping sauce is garlic.
What?
It's $19.99. The cookie, the blue milk cookie milkshake is pretty good though. That is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. So I gotta get credit where credit's due.
Okay, maybe I'll try the milkshake then.
I just don't understand how hard this is.
Yeah.
All they got to do is put some macarons in a box and call it. I mean, that's the only thing Little Muppet eats the whole show.
That's what the
Gummy
milkshake
frog
is supposed to be.
eggs. Who
Oh,
cares?
you got to be kidding! They made a milkshake and pretended it's a French cookie.
It's good, and it makes you think like, oh, if only Disney had tried in the parks a little bit more, because Burger King got it down.
I'm telling you. Well, glad you got it down though, Wiz. Maybe who is that guy who always wears the suit and tie? He's like maybe 25 years old with the hair slicked back, and he always
the report of the week.
Report of the week.
Yeah, that could be you. Real life fake report of the week.
Oh no.
The baby Grogu burger is gross goo.
My favorite parts of that channel are when things go wrong, but it's like, such minute things, and he loses it. And he's like, you can just see he's so furious. They forgot my pickles. The whole review is ruined. I spent all this time, 3 hours. 3 hours prepping this.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
My diet could have been a YouTube channel if I had just thought about it.
I want to know.
Man, me too.
How is the fast food review guy that skinny? I don't get it. Snarky out there for $4.99. Get in the game. Well, thank you, EA. All right.
All right.
And another huge shout out to Andrew Fay. By the way, before we hit this next story, I just wanted to ask you guys, what are you thinking about this whole Star Wars deal now that, we had the photo come out with the top execs at Lucasfilm 3 days before we get the scoop, and now Ahsoka's been delayed, and there's talking about reshoots. I'm not saying it's coming true. I'm just saying, man, there's some stuff going down with Star Wars these days. Nobody's happy over there.
It certainly looks curious.
I don't care.
Well, some still do. All right. Can we do? Okay, I'm going to give the panel a choice on this. All right.
Makes me wonder if they're going to cancel the show altogether after some point.
Let me give Kongman Lee and Tom the option on this. All right. You guys get to call the play. We can either talk about how much Jay Leno hates Jimmy Kimmel, or we can talk about the war between Elon Musk and Christopher Nolan that broke out about an hour before the show started. Which would you guys prefer?
Yeah, we've already talked about Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I love talking about race swapped Greeks in the Odyssey. So maybe we can do that.
All right, race swapped Greeks it is.
I'm calling it odd diversity.
I'm calling
That's
it
a good one.
I'm calling it the Odyssey Audible. Folks, let's switch it up. We're going to a different story than anticipated. Why? Because it's breaking right now. It is Elon Musk. Hey, get up here on the screen. It's Elon Musk versus Christopher Nolan. Time is presenting it this way. Christopher Nolan has been dreaming of the Odyssey for more than 20 years. It's a massive article that just came out. Time, and folks, look, time keeps on slipping. This thing goes on forever, just bragging about how much Christopher Nolan has put into understanding this. Part of, though, what has gotten him into some trouble comes from stuff like this in this paragraph, which is, I think, about 3 novellas in. It says, Nolan instructed, is it Goranson? Is that the person behind the music on this movie? We'll go with that. Okay. I'm probably mispronouncing.
Yeah, Göransson, yeah.
Nolan instructed Göransson not to use an orchestra in the score, if only to subvert expectations for a swords and sandals film. Quote, it's not like the orchestra existed back then, says Göransson. It was a challenge and also an opening to try to make something unique. Okay, so their orchestras didn't exist back then. They want to be historically accurate. So what do we do instead? All right, so instead, Göransson rented 35 bronze gongs of varying sizes, experimented recording them with synths, and began singing the director's songs. And then, here it is from Time, Nolan also, because they want to be historically accurate, put rapper Travis Scott in the film as a bard.
That's
Quote,
racist.
I cast him because I wanted to nod towards the idea that the story has been handed down as oral poetry, which is analogous to rap.
Can we say oral poetry on here?
We're going to have to, and it's a stretch. All right, folks.
I don't know. See, no, man, what are you doing?
From Variety, the backlash is real. They've also been race swapping characters from this, and I've tried to stay out of it because I want to see the film.
It's a little worse than that, Pro. Did you know that this is based on a 2014 reimagining?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Do go on.
Yeah, I guess this is all built in. It's baked in.
So Variety is covering Elon Musk, who's had enough. And this is bizarre to me because Christopher Nolan, I think, presented one of the most conservative movies of all time from mainstream Hollywood in The Dark Knight. I don't know if people view that as a conservative film, but I think it actually is. It kind of got slipped in. I don't even know if he intended for it to be a conservative film, but the message, with Batman and privacy and holding back the state and not overreaching into authoritarianism, it's very interesting, the message in that film A. But Variety says Elon Musk is bashing Christopher Nolan for the Odyssey casting, alleging the director cast Lupita, how do we pronounce her name? Nyong'o, Lupita Nyong'o as Helena Troy because he wants the awards. In additional X post, Musk retweeted posts that mocked Elliot Page's masculinity and claimed that Nolan was stomping all over Homer's grave because of his casting choices. That got 8.4 thousand likes. Then Elon Musk came in and added it and ratioed them by a factor of a bunch. More than 5 times over, Elon Musk says Christopher Nolan is pissing on Homer's grave. Disgraceful. So Elon's all in. Elon is all in, and Christopher Nolan now is in the middle of a major controversy. Who wants the first swing on this one, guys? I mean, this film is setting itself up. It looks like it's woke. I don't know if it's woke. Christopher Nolan has a track record of incredible success. Should we jump in with Elon, or should we hold off until the film? Wiz? Cogman? Who wants this one first?
Well, I mean, I'll just start off by saying Christopher Nolan is one of the most overrated directors in Hollywood. He's pretentious. Most of his movies, his works of film, are just works of sophistry. I don't think they're deep by any means. I enjoyed the Dark Knight trilogy. That was probably his best work. I remember the first movie I saw after COVID broke out in 2021. I went to watch Tenet. And it was awful. The sound design, you couldn't hear a thing. The whole plot was incoherent. And then later in interviews, he's like, "Oh, that was an artistic choice." Like, what do you mean artistic choice for your viewers not to? They can't even hear the dialogue. What artistic choice is that? Anyways, I find him to be very, very overrated. I thought Oppenheimer was pretty good, but it wasn't like this.
Oppenheimer was kind of like a different movie for him, though. It almost didn't feel like a Nolan film.
Yeah, and it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like one of his only biopics that he did, and so
it is. Other than the Prestige, if you want to consider that. But, yeah.
So I think he's overrated, and so it's just there's this weird AstroTurf prestige that is placed upon Christopher Nolan for some odd reason. But I think Elon Musk is correct in that. The big reason why so many of these directors and these casting directors have the incentive to race swap is because they can't tell traditional European, Anglo or Greco-Roman stories, myths, legends anymore and have it be accurate to the lore and the history and it qualified for an Oscar because of the representation and inclusion standards they passed. Was it 4 years ago after the craziness of peak BLM, and that they have to have a certain number of women, LGBTQ, underrepresented racial minority, which is just everything under the sun except for Europeans and white people. And so they have to. And Nolan is someone who's obsessed with prestige and accolades. And so he wants this to be another Oscar. He wants it to be an Oscar winning film, at the very least, an Oscar nominated film. And in order to do so, he can't have a movie with a bunch of white people. It won't qualify. It literally will not qualify. So he is forced to, whether he is doing it willingly, like happily, like, oh, I'm so proud to race swap because of representation, or he's being forced into doing so. This is just the product of the woke activist takeover over Hollywood. And it's just, it really is annoying to me, because it's like, I don't mind non-white people on screen. I love non-white people. Like, I'm
shocked to hear you say this.
Hey, thanks, man.
People keep saying this is what drove me up the wall about Star Wars. They were like, oh, like, you hate John Boyega because he's black. It's like, no, like, I loved Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu. The character I always played when I was playing on my PSP, the Star Wars Battlefront 2, was Mace Windu. I loved, he was my favorite Jedi. And it's like, oh, like, you're just racist. No, like, just write better characters. Stop race swapping. Stop putting like black characters into these traditionally white characters and be like, oh, like, this is such a win for diversity, when it's just like it really,
two wrongs don't make a right, right? Like, I mean, yes, there has been whitewashing for years in Hollywood and television.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We're not going to lie about that.
Yeah.
But overcorrecting it and doing these kind of things are not going to fix the problem. And to me, regardless of what you're trying to accomplish here, whether it's Oscar nominations, because I agree with you, I think this is this year's battle after another. Basically, only this movie makes no sense to do that to it, but I think Nolan thinks he's doing the noble thing. I think he thinks he's doing the right thing. Plus, yeah, like you said, he's doing it so he gets the award nominations. But at the end of the day, I think this thing is going to be one of the biggest disappointments of the holiday season, right behind Doomsday and Dune.
Easily.
So we'll see. And to me, I saw 2 trailers of this for the first time the other day, because I'd never watched the trailer. I didn't bother. Because like you, Kingman Lee, I'm not the biggest fan of Nolan. I think he is so pretentious and overhyped, and 9.9 times out of 10, most of his movies are already remakes or rehashes or reboots or some sort of retelling of something that's already been done a million times over.
Can I just interject here? Tom thought too hard on Inception, and he's never forgiven him for the plot holes. I'm just so everybody knows.
It's not just that. Do you realize that Inception is could be kind of like, people have accused it of ripping off an Uncle Scrooge comic. There was an Uncle Scrooge comic that had a very similar story to it, I guess. But anyhow, that being
said, blast me bagpipes. I tried for a minute to think, what's an Uncle Scrooge interjection? Tom, let me
keeping my money.
Tom, let me toss you something.
Going to see that.
And anybody who wants to
so I watched the trailers, and I saw the first trailer, and then I saw the second trailer, which is the newer one. The first trailer wasn't so bad. The second trailer turned me off completely, and there was like no reaction really from the audience at all at either one of those trailers, especially compared to things like Scary Movie 6, right? So I don't know. I mean, I agree with you guys. Nolan is kind of his own kind of entity or, brand at this point. But I think he's kind of turning into the next Ridley Scott. And I know a lot of people like Ridley Scott still too, but I think he's lost it too.
This is the way TMZ is reporting it. And I think this is going to be the way that Hollywood at large reports this. Elon Musk amplifies online whining about Christopher Nolan casting Lupita Nyong'o. Now, we've been talking about the idea that nobody is offended at all about, a variety of individuals being on screen. But this quota system that Hollywood has for awards, it's created this bizarro world where, we can't tell the Odyssey without race swapping. But if we did a historical film about Cambodia, for example, nobody would be saying, well, how many black actors can we get on, the Cambodian historical story? How many Europeans can we get on that? Nobody would do that, because you would already have the quota met, right? Because every Asian counts in Hollywood as diversity. Literally the only thing that doesn't count as diversity in Hollywood, which makes global movies, which one would think would mean that the quotas would be based around global percentages, but it's not. It's just American percentages. Ethnocentrism. Thy name is Hollyweird. But the deal here is only white dudes And no, that's not actually it. Straight white dudes. Straight white dudes are the only non-diverse demographic in the entire world, according to Hollywood.
I'd just like to point out that there was what I suspect would be a much better Odyssey adaptation that came out last year, which starred Ray Fiennes, called The Return. So if you're looking for something a little more accurate, that may be the way to go. I also want to point out to Kongman that if you like Mace Windu as a Jedi, you need to hear him play bass.
Well, clones ain't loyal.
I'm going to say something that might come off as controversial.
Oh boy, here he goes again.
Oh, never heard one of those from you.
I think there you go. I think this movie,
boys, let's get out of here. He's gearing up.
I think this movie is meant to be as controversial as possible. I think it is symbolic of something. I think it's symbolic of the fall of Hollywood. If we look at this movie,
that's controversial with us.
Hold on,
No,
let me
not
back
really.
up. Say what I'm saying.
Let him cook.
Let me cook.
Are you suggesting that the movie is a Trojan horse?
It is. Yes, Lauren. I think this is a Trojan horse. I think this movie is meant to be Hollywood's last stand. And I know that sounds a little like dramatic, but you look at the names that are associated with this: Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, John Barenthal, Elliot Page, Benny Safdie, Mia Goth, Ryan Hurst, John Leguizamo. These are all the Hollywood this is the last stand of Hollywood. And it's the Odyssey. And
if
it's
I may, I was calling
Nolan.
it the final re for a while now. So I think that you're 100% right. I kind of brought something up similar to that. Like I said, this is kind of what it is. It's the last. Everybody who's making this movie thinks this is the right thing to do.
Because it's the last thing to do before the takeover happens of AI to some regard. The access becomes available to just regular folks to start making things, which is very much on the horizon. And like the franchise is gone. We have Dune 3 and Doomsday. It's going to be the last big event probably ever. Doomsday is not going to make money. It's going to be $1 billion movie. Star Wars is dead. Avengers is dead. Hollywood is dead. And the people at home know it. We have got legacy franchise media getting viewership the same as YouTubers. Like, that's where we're at. We've got 60-year franchises falling apart, 50-year franchises falling apart. Hollywood is on it. This is the send-off for Hollywood. It is the last big names they have left. You couldn't put anybody else in this. Everybody in this is like, it's the values of Hollywood. It is people that represent what Hollywood wants to stand for, and they're dying on this hill. And I think let them do it. Go for it. Because I don't know. Oppenheimer had the Barbie movie. There was controversy there. Oppenheimer was very good. It had good music. The guy, Ludwig Göransson, who's doing the soundtrack on this, he does pretty good music. I think the music might be interesting. It's not what I would want to have seen in an Odyssey movie, but it might be surprisingly good regardless. Full send, Hollywood. Full send. We're sending you off into the sun with this one.
So this is the modern Ben-Hur, but they know it's the curtain call as well. That's what you're saying.
Which fitting that we would have a story that would be historic like that as the send-off for what Hollywood used to represent. Yes, that's exactly what I think this is.
I will only accept that analogy if it's spelled BENHER.
Well, that's
the thing that Nolan with this stupid idea with the no music thing is so dumb, because they didn't have cameras, they didn't have microphones, they didn't have a lot of other things back then, and his historical accuracy on that part seems to be up in the air too, because a lot of people will tell you, well, this wasn't right, that wasn't right, and they're just talking about what they've seen in the trailers so far. So, like, I mean, the other thing I'm sitting here going, okay, musically, we had voices back then. I'm sure they had choirs. I'm sure there was other instruments that were around. It's not like music was born yesterday. And he even has the other character in there as a bard. Well, what does a bard do? Sits there with a guitar and sings a song about a story, right?
I'd like to also point out that they were quite literally called the Greek choir.
Exactly. What is going on here with this guy? He's like just pulling crap out of his ass. And I think Fake Wizard is 100% right. This is the final re. They know this is going to win all the awards. That's all this is. the audience, I think, is going to reject it, and we're just going to be called racist for it, of course. But to me, it's like, no, I don't have a problem with that. Look, I mean, I'm wearing a Michael Jackson shirt right now. When I grew up, Bill Cosby was the most popular actor on television. Michael Jackson and Prince were the most popular singers in the world, right? Like, I mean, I never understood this idea of this separation of race until I got older and they started making it a thing.
Denzel Washington is my favorite actor. I mean, there's a way that they do this that makes it wrong. And there are 1,000 ways to do it that's right, and they always choose the other way. And I for one cannot wait. I cannot wait for Travis Scott to be a bard and to sing with a lute. Please, Travis, sing with a lute.
This is Homer's Odyssey, yo.
Dropping N-words.
Let me tell you a story about my he's a
Cogman, I give you
his
the
daddy's
final word
coming
on home. Cogman, I give you the final word on all of this.
He got some cigarettes and he's coming back, y'all.
Your thoughts on Hollywood's final stand with Homer and Tom? That may go down as one of the greatest clips of the show, my man.
I mean, come on, what are you going to do with this? I mean, seriously. I mean,
I hope there's a scene in the movie where all of the citizens of Troy at night, they've got the horse behind them, and they just say, "Do you hear beatboxing?"
All right, Cogman, the floor is yours.
Come sit down and listen to me about Homer's Odyssey.
That was fire.
Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I'm so sorry, guys. I have another obligation I gotta get to, so I gotta get out. But this has been fun as always. I love getting to talk to you guys. Good meeting you, Kingman Lee, and of course, Fake Wizard. Always fun to hang out with you and Lauren and Pro as always. Take care of yourselves and each other, and thanks for having me.
Tom, you just rock, and I love turtles.
I love turtles too. Take care, guys.
All right, Cogman, the floor is yours.
Yeah, that was a great segment. I feel like that would have been the greatest way to end the segment. But I have two thoughts just to close this out. One is a big reason why they also race swap is because they can do this bait and switch where they race swap characters and they are not historically accurate. They don't try to be, faithful to the source material. And then they do it because when their vanity projects fail, they can point at the audience. They can point at you and me and say, "You're racist. Why do you hate black people? Why do you hate minorities? Why do you hate women? Why do you hate transgender?" Like, they do this thing, right? And you see this with the new stellar 10 out of 10 video game mixtape where they can't do that because all the characters are white because it's supposed to be this nostalgia bait from the 90s. And then so, yeah, they can't do it. And then I feel like a lot of the devs are kind of regretting, oh, we should have made a lot of the main characters black because at least we could have called all the gamers racist. But that's actually an effective tool, believe it or not, which it's not working as much anymore. And the magic word calling people racist and all these insults that don't mean anything anymore. Yeah, it's losing its power, but it's still pretty effective when it comes to capturing the whims and basically the zeitgeist of especially a lot of people who are slightly left-leaning and center-left, because no one wants to be a racist. No one wants to hate people based on the color of their skin.
Well,
so
it's weaponized. It's weaponized empathy, Cogman.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It's intentionally done in order to set up a system in which if you go against it, you are against empathy. But it's faux empathy. They don't really care about what it is they're presenting as if they do care. What they actually care about is setting up a dynamic where you can't win.
Of course.
Where you have your rationality has no place here, right? It would be like if somebody was doing the plumbing for your home and they said, "Well, we don't actually believe in using pipes." And you said, "Well, you don't believe in using pipes? I mean, you're a plumber. How's the water going to get here?" And they said, "Well, we're just going to, we're going to my truth it into your sink. You're going to my truth it in my sink. What do you mean?" And then they said, "Oh, actually, I employ 50% female minority plumbers. What are you trying to say about my female minority plumbers?" It's like, that is weaponized. Right. You see, that's the game they play.
Exactly. That is the game they play. And it is really frustrating because we have genuine concerns and we have genuine grievances, but they're never addressed because we're always gaslit. And especially these people, we talked about Jimmy Kimmel earlier, and these are the same people who bash us over the head constantly about not having empathy, not having compassion, while in the same vein, they call for the death of those they disagree with. And I have that point. And then lastly, I think I was watching the behind the scenes interviews that Peter Jackson did when he was first putting together the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I'll never forget it, where he said, "This is not my story to tell. This is not my story to tell. I'm here to tell Tolkien's story and bring Tolkien's story to life." I mean, the mindset and the perspective of directors like Peter Jackson, like from 20 plus years ago versus today, it is so different, because now today, from actors to producers to directors, it's all a vanity project. It's all about myself. I want to tell my story, my version of the story, instead of the story, in a faithful way, in a fresh way, maybe a fresh way, but in a way that's engaging and it serves the audience and tells a good story, is a good work of filmmaking. They don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. It's whether it's looking for the next cash grab, whether it's pushing this an insane left-wing ideological message. It's all a vanity project. And so a lot of these people, they're not filmmakers, they're not artists, they're activists. They're activists, they're ideologues. And so it pains me, because I love film. I don't watch as much American film. I actually watch a lot of Korean film. Shout out to Korean cinema. It's fantastic these days, because they don't have that kind of stuff, and they focus on the story first and foremost. And their budgets are actually really small as well, because the stories, the characters, the writing, the acting, that carries each of these dramas and each of these Korean movies. But that's a side tangent. But all that's being said, I lament. There's a lot of people who cheer on the death of Hollywood. I actually lament it, because Hollywood is what brought us the art of filmmaking. And it is kind of sad to see it crash and burn like this. And like Fake Wizard said, this will be the last hurrah of Hollywood. And I do think it'll fail miserably, because streamers, content creators, YouTubers bring in way more viewership than any of these, huge $300, $400 million blockbuster films do.
And maybe that's why I don't lament this as much, is because, sometimes a forest must be burned down for new growth to take off. And my anticipation is that the death of Hollywood is really the opportunity for the entire country and the world to get in on this storytelling. I think that Hollywood itself is a gatekeeping mechanism. So I'm not out to get Hollywood, but I see this as a huge opportunity for entertainment to just explode. And I would give one more point before we go, folks. And that is, the Hollyweirds and TMZ and all of the access media, they're just so smart around their buddies and their pals inside their bubbles. I'm willing to bet you that Elon Musk is smarter than about a dozen of these people with their brains tied together. He's up to something. I don't know what it is that Elon's up to here. But Elon doesn't do drunk tweets. Elon doesn't come out and do something silly usually, minus a Joe Rogan appearance or two. And maybe that's even strategic. Elon Musk he has seen an opportunity here to move the narrative needle, the cultural zeitgeist, somehow when it comes to this movie. Pay attention to this. What is Elon up to? Where is he going to go next with this? I don't know yet, but he's up to something. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing in on 1,000 of you joining us across the Tickety Talks, the Instagrammies, the ICQs, the Lime Wires, and every other place that really doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I know, it's YouTube and X. But folks, we're having a great time. We're having a wonderful time. We are about to lose someone, though, off of the panel, and it's Kongman Lee. Kongman, could you share with us, please, where you can be found? Because I know you have a huge following, and folks should be joining that following today.
Yes, sir. I like to yap away all things politics and culture on X. You can follow me there at Kongman Lee. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I am right now revamping my live studio. So then we're going to be going live very, very soon, launching the live show, relaunching it in June. And if you're interested in culture and the intersection between culture, faith, and politics, and especially in regards to East Asia, because you see anime and Korean dramas, Korean cinema dominating the entertainment landscape today. What is behind that? What is going on? I cover all of that over on my channel. So if that interests you, come check it out. We'll love to see you.
Dude, you gotta. I I was thinking like what your commentary would be on The Boys, that show The Boys right now.
Yeah.
And how they are so super negatively depicting Christians and Jesus.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Insane.
You got to cover that at some
Absolutely.
point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will say, Congressman, before you go, the last time you joined us, we had an opportunity to cover some faith content on the channel. We went to some places about storytelling and the monomyth and all kinds of wonderful places. That was extraordinarily well received. And I just want to thank you for being a part of that conversation. So many out there who watched came away from that and said, you know, I thought about things that I'd never thought of before. And the comment section really just enjoyed going to that level. Hopefully we can do that again soon. I know tonight we got to cover Jimmy Kimmel and the Odyssey, but sometime soon, let's get back to that. I'd like to get back to the ethos. I'd like to get back to the logos. I'd like to get back to what is at the heart of what we're trying to do each and every day in storytelling.
Of course. And these are existential questions that motivate us, that galvanize us and give us purpose in life. And, you know, those are the most important questions and the conversation to have. And G.K. Chesterton says this, that religion and politics is often said to not talk about at the dinner table, but what else is more important to talk about than religion and politics? These are the things that inform us and inform the way that we live.
That's right. Disney Man says he's just subbed to your YouTube, and folks, go find Cogman Lee on X. It's sitting there below his name on his panel right now. Cogman, we'll see you real soon, buddy.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you, chat. Until next time. Peace out, guys. God bless.
And then there were 3. All right. Now, guys, I got to go on camera May 27th. That's when we're going to do the big reveal. Lauren, you have seen me in the studio. Wiz, you've seen an image of the studio. I still don't have my neon sign. But nobody out there in the crowd they haven't seen this yet. What do you guys think? Are we on the right track here? And what are your suggestions for me as a non-camera guy preparing to do what you guys do each and every day and night on YouTube? What do I need to know about this?
I think you just need to be ready to you know like go to different places with your content. You know, you gotta be ready to like be seen doing different things, right? I think that's
go back to the volcano for a minute.
I can't.
I knew he was going to say that.
What? What's the what? What, Lauren?
You know what I like about that is that it actually you're doing a mirror image here, so your hat actually goes the opposite direction too.
Yeah, that's
magic.
Yeah. It is. It's like you're just blowing in the wind. It's great.
You know that's a trick. Now I have to spill the beans. That's actually a trick because in the videos, the switching back and forth like will kind of disrupt people's when they're watching it. They'll be like, "Wait a second, he just flipped it." It holds people's attention a little bit better. Yeah.
Well,
like on TikTok, a lot of the people that have heterochromia and they have different eye colors on TikTok. Most of that is extremely fake.
Jeez Louise, I'm buying contact lenses for that today.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm wearing sunglasses.
It's a TikTok retention technique.
Huh.
Yep.
The things I'm learning. All right, well, folks, we're learning from you, and you have lots to say. Let's see what's happening out there in the chat. And, folks, all the respect in the world to chat. We are at 32 out of 50. This is the greatest community online. There's no doubt about it. We share it with Wiz. We share it with Lauren. Folks, we would be forlorn without you, and you make the dream to stream come true. Snarky with the pro hat for $4.99. Snarky, thank you, buddy. We've also got Bad Hombre Berkey for $5. Lauren, I appreciate that edit. Maked up. I'm unable to watch tomorrow. I've been asked to tell stories from my life at my local farmer's market. PG.
I hope you have a great time there. I know that you said that you were doing that once before. It sounds like it must have gone well. So I hope you continue to enjoy going there to the farmer's market and telling people about your stories.
Well, depending on where you live, May is a wonderful time to be going to a farmer's market. I mean, the weather is just wonderful in so many parts of the country in May. The air is crisp. You know, the only time better for a farmer's market is when the apples are being harvested. You know, fresh apple cider at the farmer's market. How can you beat it? Douglas Nutt for $5. I enjoy the inverse of that phrase, but I am trying to figure out what it means. My day is endless, and my disappointment is ruined. Well, of course, that would mean that you don't have every single hour, but the power is to you. Kaylee for 5, Bro Brew by Wiz, blue milk in every cup. Come on, brah. Sit in the milk. Patrick Getaway for 5, it's no contest. Elon has... Wait a minute.
It's fine. You're good.
All right. It's no contest. Elon has big rockets, fast cars, and a top-notch satellite system. Nolan has... I give up. Yeah. And then we've got Paul 12,000 for $10. Bring back Jay Leno, the chin. I miss his headline news segments. Both the messed up headlines and ads. Got it. Speaking of humor, challenge almost complete. Still haven't figured out how to do video stuff. Trolling. Bad Hombre Berkey for 2. Odyssey as intersectional feminism. How crappy. We'll see. Irate Specialist for 199 for Peepaw's proposed proposal. However, propitious. Lorne, I need you to tell us, what is propitious, sir?
No.
You won't?
No.
What's today's secret word?
This is the first time in the history of the channel the word truly is secret, because those of you who don't know what propitious is will never know now. Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Patrick, I know what you're doing. Patrick for 5. They all do too.
I'm not doing anything.
Uh-huh. Dictionary.com. Patrick Getaway for 5. Nolan was dumb enough to use a modern translation of the Odyssey to boot. They should call it the Odd Essay. The Odd Essay. Lauren, did you find out what the word means yet?
I'm looking up propitious.
The M4 Empire for 4. It's not on Wikipedia. That's where you went wrong. They don't have it. Not everything's on Wikipedia. The M4 Empire for $4.99. Doing this for the goal because you need to watch Sheep Detective. Thank you later.
It's not a joke. You do.
It's the super chat goal. We're 17 away, Wiz. We're going to do it. We're going to make it. I'm going to have to go see
I didn't realize that. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, guys, we need to hit the goal. Pro needs to see this movie.
What's the mystery in the sheep movie that I got to go see? Is that a spoiler?
No, I don't think that's a spoiler. That's in the trailer, I think.
The death of the shepherd?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at you and your little sheep.
Yeah. It's actually a great movie.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this is going to happen to me.
Yep.
All right. Well, I got mutton on you. We'll go see it. Sean
say
Tower
that
for 5.
now. Until, you're sitting in the theater crying. Okay.
Take my Kleenex with me. Sean Tower for 5. I do not understand how organizations like the Academy have not been sued for their openly racist policies. Because it's in a fuzzy area on the Academy. They're not technically, okay, this is so fun. They're not technically hiring, so therefore they're not technically outside of the law, even if their award system may force you to break the law in order to comply, because they're not technically the ones who are doing the hiring. You see how that's why the EEOC is not coming for the Academy. The other thing about it is there's this one little caveat in all of the rules they have that says if you have at least 50% women, then you're good. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Turns out that half the population, hang on a second, let me look this up, is carry the Y. Women. Women are half the population. So if you just give enough jobs to women, you don't have to worry about any other stuff.
But what is a woman pro?
Oh, boy. Now I'm confused. You're right. Got to play by their playbook. Well, it's anybody who wants to. Yeah. Snarky in an M4 Empire hat for $4.99. Look at that little. Look at him go. Look at him go. Chihuahua Dad for $4.99. Agree with Marvin. Pro needs to watch Sheep Detective. Lauren, will you go watch Sheep Detective with me? Can we make this happen?
I thought it looked good, so yeah, I'd be willing to go see it.
It's a wonderful movie.
Come on. You thought it looked good?
Actually, I did.
Hello, bandwagon. I'm Lauren. Can I hop on you right now, please?
What is the deal with you bashing me tonight, sir?
I'm just saying, like, there's no. You're telling me as a grown man that you and I watched the same trailer and you said, boy, that Sheep Detective, those talking sheep, I'll go watch that.
Look, I guess it does sound preposterous when you put it that way. But every once in a while, a sweet movie that is I mean, that's honestly just what it looked like. It looked like a sweet movie. The flavor I got from it, kind of, was Secondhand Lions, and I love that movie. So if it's something kind of in the same vein, I'd be up for it.
It is as sincere as Finding Nemo.
Oh boy.
Yes.
No, come on now.
It is as sincere as Finding Nemo. Personally, I think it's better than Project Hail Mary.
Really?
Yes.
What are
Yes.
you doing? You stop.
It is that good. It is that good. Yes.
Amaze.
It is my movie of the year. I'm so serious.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out of season April Fool's joke?
You say that now.
Yeah, I honestly do think it looks good. I'm on board with going to see it if that's what it's going to take to get you to go see it.
17 super chats from the goal, folks. 17. Sean Tower for 5. Many people in power in Hollywood have openly said anything male, pale, and stale is evil. Indeed, they have. And you know, Evil used to have a much better name in Hollywood, right? Dr. Evil was a really funny character. What has happened to us? Snarky with a Will Twan hat for $4.99. I've got like 30 hats showing love for TPP, Pro, Wiz, VR, Wilton, M4 Empire, That Game Place, and more. By the way, apologies, Stinky or Snarky. There's so many hats. Apologies, Snarky. Stop it, Lauren. You're going to get me. Apologies. I was going to do a gaming stream last night and just hit that exhaustion point and couldn't do it, but we wanted... Stop it, Lauren. All right. This is where I need to be on camera so that we're both just trying not to laugh because of the other. Snarky's back for $4.99. Midnight's Edge hat. And look at that neon. For you and Andre, Tom. It's so funny, too. Andre was supposed to be on the show tonight, scheduled by Kara. And we need to tell Kara that Andre lives halfway around the world, so the nighttime shows are really not going to work for him.
You could say it was not propitious timing for him.
Folks, if you know what the heck Lauren is saying, would you please tell the rest of the chat now? Lauren, what would propitious timing be exactly?
Well, it is basically what it sounds like. Propitious is having to do with favorable timing for whatever it is that you're trying or wanting to do.
Are you sure about that, Lauren?
Timing for the best the best intended outcome for success. That's the best way I would summarize it.
Would you describe it, Lauren? Lauren, would you describe it as
watching me?
Would you describe it as favorable circumstances indicating a high likelihood of success, promising outcomes, or advantageous timing?
You looked it up as what happened.
Just noticing that the way you described it has a stark and amazing reflection on dictionary.com's answer.
Does it really? The way that I stumbled through trying to phrase it in a way that made sense sounded... whatever.
Stop it. Get some help.
We're watching you, buddy. TV for 10. Lord fears not the chicken. His scowl scares the chicken. His frightening scowl frightens the chicken. With a mighty growl he scares the fowl, and all the chickens will cowl. Flee, my poultry, flee. To the roost. We've got TB out there gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you, TB. We definitely appreciate you keeping those hamsters on the wheel.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro channel, thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to hit some of the big super chats. We'll come back and get the rest after the next news item. We don't want to lose anybody out there. And we know that we are falling behind. So give us a few. We'll come back. Never leave a super chat behind. Not us, not ever, not never. It's not what we do. Bad Hombre Berkey for 20. I grew up in Philly during the race riots, mid-60s. My cop dad's best friend killed on duty. He was a black man. Me and my brother played with his boys. Racism? I don't think so. These are my friends. Too much race baiting now. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to say too much. I'll put it this way. I have so many people in my orbit and so many people that I've worked with and so many different domains of different people with different backgrounds. If you view people primarily by their race, which I think is what, these crazy celebrities want us to do, I think you need to spend more time with people, who actually are diverse. because what you'll find out is the more people of different backgrounds and ethnicities and religions and all that sort of thing, the more people that you spend time around, you'll tend to realize that you see people as individuals more. I think that's what we see. Judge not people by the tribe in which you believe they should exist, but rather on the individual. That's the way to exist. And then Irate Specialist is out there dropping $9.99. The Odyssey is a foundation work of art that has been influencing art for 2,700 years. That's a long time. This is about erasing our Western culture, society, and turning it into the neo-Marxist culture that they want. Yes, I do think this is absolutely an attack on Western society, but I think that's part of a broader attack on Western society. And it's twofold, right? Because Western society is basically based on the duality of the legal system of Rome or Greece, right? Combine those Athens, put those two things together, Rome and Athens, put those two things together, and that's your legal framework. But then the other aspect, the other part of the duality of the West is that upon that legal framework, we also have the belief in the divinity of the individual, right? That each person has the logos within them, that each person is of divine worth, infinite worth, and that comes from the Jerusalem concepts. So you put those together and you get the West. And I think both of those have been under attack. People no longer believe in truth. They no longer believe in actual representation. They believe in power. They believe in subjectivity. And they definitely do not believe in any kind of divine. And so when you strip all those things away, well, that's what made the West be special. And that's the danger. All right, folks, we have so many super chats and we will get back to them. I promise, without a doubt. But we've got to hit the next story, and it's Leno. We would never hit Leno. We would never do so. But Kimmel, well, he just might. The legendary Jay Leno has seen enough. Jimmy Kimmel has gone so vile that Leno is now doing what Disney don't. This posed by a user whose name we cannot say here on the YouTubes. Says Jay Leno admits trusting Jimmy Kimmel was a huge mistake. He humiliated me on my own show. Says Jay Leno is going viral after revisiting the moment Jimmy Kimmel publicly humiliated him on his own show. And according to Leno, he could have edited the entire thing out. He chose not to. Quote, I trusted somebody. I made a mistake, unquote. This is to say that Kimmel has always been a shark. He's always been out for blood. We'll play this for you, folks, and we'll weigh in on it. We'll hop in at times. But this is Jay Leno now coming out and talking about Kimmel and the real kind of guy that he happens to be.
You know, everybody makes a big deal. You know, when Kimmel came on my show and humiliated me on my own show, I let it happen. I didn't edit it. It was my mistake. I trusted somebody. I went, I made a mistake. Okay, I should pay the price.
You're known for pranks. What's the best prank you ever pulled?
I think the best prank I ever pulled was I told a guy that 5 years from now, I'm going to give you my show. And then when the 5 years came, I gave it to him, and then I took it back almost instantly.
Wow.
So that's mocking Jay Leno over the Conan O'Brien thing. We'll skip ahead because they'll ding us. Disney will ding us. All right. Okay, here we go. Back to Jay Leno and what he says about that, which, by the way, is very similar now to Kimmel rubbing Disney executives' faces and the fact they can't fire him, going in front of the ad buyers and just slamming Disney and saying, hey, I'm costing this company billions of dollars. I might be the most expensive mistake they've ever made. Really bragging, right? And just telling Josh tomorrow, haha, there's no way you can fire me. Jay Leno goes on to say more.
Well, because it happened. It's real. It happened. It's my mistake. That's how you learn. You know?
Did you view it as a mistake, or is that good TV?
Well, it's not good TV for me because it started a whole thing that continues to this day, really. But it's okay. It's all right. I mean, he's a comic. You do what you got to do. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but that's okay.
Jay Leno does not sound like a happy camper when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel, and he's got an experience that I think matches up with a lot of folks out there. Wiz, it seems to me that Kimmel has really taken his place in entertainment by counting the bodies that he's built his legacy upon. What say you and the way that Leno responds to him?
You know, I'd like to start off by saying, you know, there are two ways to build a house. Or the tallest building in town, right? If you're building a building, you want to build the tallest. There's two ways to do it. The first way is you tear down everybody else's in town so that yours is the tallest by default, or you just build the tallest building because you can. And Jimmy Kimmel is the guy that likes to destroy everybody else's towers, everybody else's buildings to elevate himself. He has only ever collected scalps as trophies as a means to better his career. He has never been a nice guy. He has always been a nasty guy, even when he was just getting started. I will say it's nice to see Leno still, you know, do a lot. It's nice to still see him in the limelight. But I gotta say, I'm glad that Leno's not still doing this. Late night has gotten disgusting. It's not a nice place. It's not entertaining. And you know, whether we talk about well, who's in the writers' rooms, and you know, is it all an inside job, or are all these late night comedians, are they all like getting told the same rules? Because why is all their stuff so similar, and why is it all so bad? And so I think Leno got out at the best time he could have retired. It was the best time he could have gotten out, because ever since then it has gone to crap. And people are going to look back, you know, in years to come, people are going to look back on Leno's career and they're going to go, Jay Leno was awesome. He was pretty good. Whether you really loved him or not, I liked Jay Leno and I liked his time, you know, as a late night host. But people are going to look back on Kimmel and be like, that guy was awful. Kimmel is going to be remembered for how he went out. He's not going to be remembered for what he did while he was there. Leno will be remembered for what he did while he was there.
Well, I want to come back to you, Wiz, with a question on that, a clarification point. You said that Leno got it at the right time, and you're happy that Leno's not there anymore. And you said because late night's a nasty place. Now, are you suggesting then that if Leno or Letterman or Conan or Ferguson or whoever back from that era, if they were in late night, that they would have to get in the mud? Or see, the way I envision it is if somebody of their mold was there right now, they could be what late night was. And I think they'd still be pulling 6, 7, 8 million viewers like 15 years ago. I think the desecration of late night comes from the fact that these guys have decided we're just all going to, you know, be on the attack all the time and drive away 70% of the audience.
I think whoever would be in that spot would be compromised. I've just, and maybe that's a black-pilled kind of take. I think if you take that spot, you're going to do what you're told to do. I don't believe that these writers' rooms aren't handed marching orders, and maybe they aren't. And you know what? Actually, it's the reverse. It's not black pill, because if they are being handed marching orders, that would be better than what we get, because then that would mean there is a kind of there's bad guys in play at the corporate level telling them what to produce. No, Pro, you're kind of implying what your side plays out is they're doing this on their own free will, which is even worse. That's terrible. So could they if they were still there, would Conan be able to do whatever he wanted to do? Possibly, but I just doubt it. I just doubt it. It's you get with the system, or the system gets you gone.
Well, let's talk about the aspect then of the rivalry here. And I agree with you, Wiz. I think you're right. But back in the day, Leno was, you know, always going after Letterman, and Letterman was always going after Leno. And it kind of reminds me of basketball. You know, back in the 90s in basketball, what made it so great was that the teams actually didn't like each other. If you go to the 80s, I mean, you know, Bulls versus Lakers, Lakers versus Celtics. I mean, you know, these players wanted to win. You watch basketball today, and they're all buddies. They're all trying to get a sponsorship deal. They don't really have rivalries. And you look at what's going down with late night as Colbert gets kicked off the air in total failure, not victory. And what's happening? Well, all the other late night guys are coming on there, and they're buddies, they're pals. Leno and Letterman, man, they were going at each other. They were trying to win. And yet, even despite that, Leno has bad things to say about, not Letterman, about Jimmy Kimmel. And that's fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me that his angst is aimed at somebody other than his main competitor. It's Kimmel today.
I'd like to imagine that there was a respect. Like, you could be rivals, but then you could still have respect for the person because you're rivals. I mean, like, sure, there might have been bad blood there, but I look at something like you said, the basketball guys. Well, we know that during the Michael Jordan era, like, there was a lot of internal competition, right? I also thought of when you were saying that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, for the longest time, they were like pure rivals in movies. And they would like kind of trick each other into taking jobs that might put one of them above the other. And then for them in the end of that to be able to look past, like, hey, we had that rivalry and it made us better people because of it. It made us more successful. We had to compete. We had to be better. Sometimes rivalry, competition makes us better people. So to that, I can only hope that Leno and Letterman have that kind of rivalry respect for each other, that, like, not even friendly competition, but respect.
Let's play the end of the interview, and then Lauren, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the way Leno feels about Jimmy Kimmel and also the timing of it, right? Because this is coming out the last week of Colbert, and Kimmel's about to be, going head to head with Fallon, and that's it. Well, except for Gutfeld, he's beating them both by like huge numbers, but we're not allowed to talk about that. Here's the end of that interview.
Oh, he's a comic. You do what you got to do. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but that's okay. That's all right. It's okay. It is what it is. It's better than saying, hey, spend the rest of my life. So what really happened on that show? You can take a look and see. So yeah, it's fine.
I don't think it's fine, Lauren. I don't think it's fine. I think he really detests Jimmy Kimmel, and I bet there are a lot of other people who feel the same way. They're just not allowed to say it.
Yeah, I think so, but I've got some real mixed feelings about this because
I
remember back when the late night wars were going on, and it was really cutthroat there for a while between Leno and Letterman, and a lot of that was because Letterman thought that he was going to take over for Carson.
Yep.
And if you remember, Carson went on Letterman's show, and the first thing that he said when he got on the chair was, "So how pissed off are you?"
I always felt like Letterman was the aggressor, and Leno he tried to take it in stride as much as he could.
Well, the way I
maybe strategically.
Here's what's odd is that I loved Carson, but I also loved Leno when he was guest hosting, and I was really excited when Leno was going to take over the show. But when he did take over the show, I felt like he was not as good, in my opinion, as when he was guest hosting. He changed too much. And I still watched the show. I still liked it. But when everything went down with Conan, I did think that was kind of scummy. And he has rationalized it throughout the years, saying, look, their ratings weren't doing great. And the studio came back to me and said, look, we made a mistake. We want to bring you in. We're offering you all this money. Says, what would you do? And I think that there's a valid point in there, but it still kind of screwed Conan over. But I think that's a real soft spot that Jay has had throughout the years because he did take a lot of backlash for that.
Well, the way that happened, man, when he came in and essentially had an earlier than late night show to lead into Conan, and Conan got pushed back. It was like, hey, Conan, you're secretly going to get pushed to the late show, but we're still going to call it, It's like, that's where it got scummy. I mean, and surely Leno had to. How do you not have the foresight when you come into that and go, I think this is going to play poorly with the crowd?
Right. Now, the thing that I do respect for Leno here is that even though he did take all the slings and arrows for how that went down, he never really got nasty with the audience about it or tried to go into histrionics about it. He just laid out his case and he stood by it. And in this case, what he's saying here, too, also applies with Kimmel. It's like, imagine if he had edited that bit out. Kimmel would have said something about it and would have used it against him. And instead, he just let it lay there, even though it hurt. So I respect Leno for that. And I don't dislike Leno. I just think that he was perhaps a little more opportunistic than he should have been. And I know that there are other comics that had issues with him for various reasons. It's a cutthroat business, and it's one where there are a lot of egos, and they're easy to get bruised. I definitely think Leno comes out looking way better than Kimmel ever will, regardless of how you look at the old late night wars. So,
I think Kimmel and Colbert, they'll be viewed. I mean, there's a certain segment that's never going to admit this. Everybody views them as the guys who killed late night. Mm-hmm. That's how they'll always be viewed. That's their history, right? Carson built it. Leno and Letterman carried it. Kimmel and Colbert killed it. That's late night.
Command and code. The time has come, homie. Execute order 66. I'm still alive, motherfucker. Riding in the gunship, me and my squad. Thought we was day ones, now they coming in too hot. I deflected every blaster just to keep you in the mix. When did y'all start playing? Hit me with that 66. Got my 5-0 first boys with my day one shooters. I have had it with these motherfucking dancing clone troopers. These clones ain't loyal. Felt it when my homies died. Clones ain't loyal. Watch my boy Kiadi Monday die. These clones ain't loyal. There ain't nowhere for you to hide. Clones ain't loyal. The chosen one, crispy and fried.
All right, folks, back to the news, back to the super chats. Here we go. What are we going to do? Well, cover it with truth with a capital T. By the way, before we get into the super chats, I'm going to send a huge thank you out there to somebody who might be watching. And this individual, Wiz, we'll bring you right back. Fix it. This individual, I don't know if they heard me say this during the daytime show yesterday, so I'm going to say it again tonight in case they're out there watching. We did the legacy to raise money, and we raised, and by we, I mean you all out there. You, the community did this. Not me, not Lauren, not Wilton even. The community, the greatest community on the earth, raised more than $2,000 for a family that is in desperate need. Second time we've done a charity stream in less than a year, and we're going to try to do two to three of these a year. More than $2,000. There's an individual out there who did this with kindness and anonymity. I know the amount they gave. I'm not going to say it. I don't know if they want it to be said. I just want to say the MVP of the week is Photon Empress. And a huge thank you to everybody else who gave as well. But I saw what was going on. I won't say how I figured out. Photon Empress gave tremendously, but it is hugely appreciated and seen. Clay Napier for 5. The people will hear the beatboxing and wonder if can breath and go pat him on the back. Wonder if they can breathe and go pat. Yeah, got it. Clay, darn those super chats that come off smartphones. Sometimes they just typo and it's not your fault. Snarky for the 767 hat on his head for $4.99. If it ain't Boeing, I ain't going. Buses don't fly. All right. What is this? Are you now going to help us get a sponsorship from Boeing? Bruce for $1.99. Hollywood was sabotaged for being part of Americana. Was sabotaged. New word of the day. Rob in Tennessee. Pro, don't forget pants in case you stand up. Almost always jeans. That's always
a good one.
That's right.
Good tip.
Good tip. Let's see here. By the way, I'm actually wearing the whole ensemble right now. It's freezing cold in the studio. You know, wearing a blazer and all this stuff, a little bit warm. So I've already set the temperature down. And as I was getting ready to start, I thought I'm freezing. Put the blazer on. Bet on Bray Berkey. And by the way, goal. Yes, Wiz.
I said you're practicing.
Oh yeah. Well, Wiz, I imagine that your studio must be kept cold to help you with all those whiskers. Is that right?
It's the amount of heat that's giving off from something when I'm streaming heats up the entire room.
Well, we told you to get rid of the 1930s Edison lamps. I know it gives you that glow you want, but good Lord, man.
Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Wipe away the beads, wipe away the sweat. Bad Hombre Berkey for 2. Lorne, tomorrow is my premiere. It's pouring rain.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that you had already done one session, so break a leg. I hope you have a great time.
Don't break a leg, literally. And by the way, I take back what I said about May. If it's pouring rain, darn you, May. Darn you, May. Sean is out there for 199. Uh-oh. F. Wiz. Do you have some Scientology literature?
No. No, I don't.
Are you one of these TikTokers that's trying to run into their headquarters now? Is that you?
No. That is a much younger man's game than me at my age. Yeah.
Oh, don't even. Those are fake gray whiskers, sir.
Yes, it's too old for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Third Dr. Andy for 2. Off topic. No ticket sold for Mando film on the 21st here.
I'm going to check my theater now.
Yeah, me too. All right, here we go. Let's do the daily check.
Let's do daily Mando check.
Yeah. If I go to my favorite screen in my favorite theater for opening night, let's see, 7 p.m. Check the seats.
7 p.m. IMAX.
A little bit more full. It's still 70%. 70% empty, I would say. How you looking, Wiz?
Only 12 seats sold.
Ooh. More popular here then. Michael Cooley for 5. The Sheep Detective is on a double feature at my local drive-in, but the first feature is Animal Farm. Boy, talk about picking the wrong first film.
Ooh, that stinks.
Snarky for 499. That's what we call a dingleberry. Snarky for 499. Hollywood and the Academy are pretty smart at really stupid. They're good at it. They're darn good at it. Bad Hombre Berkey for 5. Sheep movie looks good from previews at Progress Hail Mary. Babe was fun. Innocence is not a bad thing. I'm going. I'm curious to compare those two films.
You're going to have a great time. It's a good movie.
All right, Wiz. Sheep Detective. What movie is it most similar to, if not Finding Nemo?
Paddington 1 and 2.
Okay. All right. Because when you say Nemo, I start thinking, okay, this is a, dad finds the son finds the dad, Fievel kind of thing.
I said sincerity.
Oh,
not
I see.
Story. Big difference.
You think Nemo is that sincere?
I think it's a sincere movie. I got the feeling of like, walking out of this, I feel like how I would have felt in a Pixar movie. Old school Pixar movie.
Okay. Like the first third of Up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. The first third of Up the whole time.
Oh, whoa. Easy.
Yeah.
That's going to get close to a 10 out of 10 for me if that's what it is.
Bring the box of tissues.
Well, by the way, we hit the goal, so I've got to go see it. Figuring out that. Sometime in the next 3 days, we'll make it happen. Cannon Barnes for 5. For the goal, because now I want to see if Sheep Detectives is good. Also, Pro, can you show Lauren and Marv how you make Super Chat profile pics bigger? Oh, that's super easy. You just go to the media. Wait, no, that's not it. Hang on a second. Where do you go? Style, that's where it is. You go to Style, and on your theme select block. You can actually make them even bigger than I have them right now. Let's see. Let's run through them. Bubble, no. Classic, yep, it's classic. But I don't like I don't like the circle. I like the squares. Anyway.
Yeah, the squares.
I really hope Marv is not watching right now, because I just want to do this on one of the streams and show off. It'll drive him nuts.
Make it happen. Mini Booger for 499. They just word swapped token and diverse. Still the same thing. We've got Patrick Anyway for 5. Kimmel thinks he can get away with flamethrowing everybody. His Waterloo is coming. Cue the ABBA song. All right, ABBA fans, start singing it. Not Dancing Queen. No, stop that. No, read the super chat. You are the dancing queen. Okay, you're right. It's catchy. Packing Brotons for 5. Saw online new Disney parks. Rumors swirl about a possible third of California site after new permits filed in Anaheim. If they build a third park in California, they've got to buy something first. I'm not going to tell you which property they got to buy, but there's a big chunk of property, a big hunk of property they got to buy first. So when they buy that property, then I'll say maybe a third park's on the way, but not until. Wiz, you know that property? You know the property they got to buy?
No, but I'm very curious to know what that's in reference to.
Yeah, okay. Packing protons for 10, also spotted. John Boyega confirmed in March. He has already spoken to Filoni. Casting call issued by Nina Gold, casting director for the sequel trilogy, looking for 2 kids to begin filming this month.
Oh, boy.
What? I mean, what are they going to film? Genuinely, I do not know what they would be filming.
And my question would be, is this John Boyega talking to Dave Filoni, or is this Dave Filoni talking to John Boyega?
That's a great question. But Packing, we love the scoops you bring.
Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call?
Snarky's back again, and this time he's finding a scroll in ruins somewhere. Looks like in Peru. $4.99 class is priceless. Jay Leno, Chuck Norris, Tim Allen, Johnny Carson. Here's Johnny. Michael Steele for $5. The late night comics are all the same because they don't want to fail the purity test. If they do, they'll get canceled. And I don't mean of TV. Yet remember that Gutfeld went on Fallon, gave him the biggest ratings in forever, and no return invite allowed. John Maynard for $4.99. Ram you. Yeah, I got the reference. We got Spring 91 Bear. That's the Cherokee for 2. Magic versus Bird equals Leno versus Letterman. True. Pat Ombre Burke for 5. Pro, the administrator of late night, want to be the Kimmel ilk. It's their policy, politics above all else, to the detriment of everyone. It's a horror, I tell you. A true horror. Yeah, it's awful to watch a genre that America tuned into and loved being turned into this. A graveyard. Paul 12,000 for 5. Jay paid his people during the strikes, forcing Letterman to do the same shortly after. Jay won those wars in my book every time. He was funnier. And by the way, Conan did the same thing during the 2007, I think, strikes. 2007, 2008. Where was that? Anyway, around that time, yeah, Conan did the same thing. And I'll tell you this too. People can mock Conan a little bit. And Conan's made some big mistakes, and we've covered some of that, right, with the Reiner situation. But when those strikes hit in, I believe, 2007, 2008, Conan didn't have writers. He was the only one who remained funny. He was genuinely funny every night he came out. And the others struggled without writers. Wild Bill Thompson, look out. Member for 27 months. The movie or Duopic? Ducopic? Dokupic? Ducapa? Duwapa? What, Lorne?
Docupic.
Lorne, we can't say words like that without defining them, please. Could you tell the audience what you mean by, what is this word you say?
Docupic. And I don't know if I would actually classify this as a documentary. It was a dramatization of the events, but he's talking about the movie that was about the late night wars between Leno and Letterman that was called The Late Shift.
No. Just tell us what docupic means.
A documentary picture?
Are you sure? Did you check dictionary.com again?
What's today's secret word?
All right. The movie or duality, The Late Shift, was just fascinating and explained a lot of what went on between Leno and Letterman and some of the backstabbing politics and how the executives tried to pit them against each other. Plus, Lorne. Hello, my friend.
Hello to you. And because I have to stick needless Star Wars trivia into everything that I can, the man who played Jay Leno in that movie was Daniel Roebuck, who also plays Grease Dritus in the Jedi games, Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
By the way, Lorne, I'm learning this is actually pronounced docupic, and what it means is a picture or film, which is also a documentary. There you go. We've got Cannon Barnes for 5 for the goal, and these clones ain't loyal. Cannon, we did it for you, buddy. Thank you. Archer Merchant for 2, they don't have to fire him if they bench him, to be determined. TBD. Patrick for 5, and another one for the goal, and another one for the goal. Butter Biscuit for 5. Oh, look at that new logo. Butter Biscuit, go for 5. Go watch that movie. All right. We're going, I promise, this weekend.
It was produced by Lord Miller.
Seriously.
Yeah. The problem is the marketing on Cheap Detectives made it look like it was not the movie it actually is.
I thought it was Homeward Bound with sheep.
Really? Because
Um,
it looked pretty good to me for the trailers.
Oh, here
No,
we
but-
go.
well,
You're saying it's a different style?
no, like the movie, the marketing made it appear like it's a little kids movie, and it's not. It's not.
Whoa, now wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is this a grown-up
family
film? Family
It's a
film.
family
Okay.
movie.
Okay.
It's not a little kids. It's not a toddler's movie. Which
If I take a teenager to this, would the teenager be okay with it? Or are they going to be like, oh my
Teenagers-
gosh?
the teenager, did you cry at the opening of Up?
My eyes were moistened, okay? I had allergies.
Well, your eyes will be moistened a couple times again.
Okay, all right then.
You might be like me, and it'll make you angry, not because of the movie, because you realize this movie makes you realize, oh my gosh, they can still make good movies. Why was it this one?
And why can't they market them? Rob in Tennessee for 5, just pushing the goal to 1 teal left. Cancel Disney. Stay informed. Keep learning. There
Yes.
you go. Combining the pro outro and the whiz. Paul 12,000 for 2. Pants are a good idea. DJ showed up in undies. Always clean them. Always get new ones. Never let the streak be seen. Daniel for 5. The Odyssey is historically inaccurate more than one way. Also, have you seen A Great Awakening yet? Still not yet, Daniel, but the last, well, boy, I can't say that. There is a week coming where I will have lots of people gathered, and we're going to try and make that be one of the things we see, because it's received such stellar commentary from those that we trust. Bruce Newhouse for 199, sincere like Godzilla -1 or sincere like Groundhog Day?
Sincere like Godzilla -1.
I've never had these two compared. Like I didn't realize that they sat on two different pillars.
I didn't. I'm also not saying like it is like Godzilla -1. It's just if I had to choose between types of sincerity, it leans more one way.
Wiz, did you walk out of Godzilla -1 and did you think in your head that was a great movie? Very different than Groundhog Day, but a great movie.
Very different for sure.
Cannon for 2. Always looking out for you, Lorne.
Although they are doing a Godzilla -0, so maybe it has more in common with Groundhog Day than you think.
There you go.
Could you, the optics of that? Oh, is it more like Godzilla -1 or Groundhog Day? I've never heard those two compared.
It's not obvious that it's
and
the
you never
apple to
will
orange.
again.
Yeah. Now I want a scene where Bill Murray is standing there with a microphone while Godzilla attacks Tokyo, and he's like, here he is again every year. He's going to blow up a building. Who cares? Snarky for $4.99. I counted sheep during the Sheep Detectives.
Oh no.
Snarky. Slamming.
Oh no.
Slamming the sheep.
Don't think so.
Paul, back with 2. Expand how? They're nearly broke, aren't they? Expand how what exactly, Paul? You've thrown me for a loop here, Lauren.
The parks. He was talking about a third park expansion for Disney.
Oh, how would they build? I don't think they're going to build a park in California soon. Maybe they could build an itsy bitsy teeny weeny little water park, but to build a full third park, they gotta get approvals that I think are going to be tough to do. I mean, Anaheim controls them. I would be shocked. 15, 20 years ago, they had a chance. They passed on it. Clay Napier for 5. I saw it as that NBC had a hole in their primetime ratings after the Cosby Show ended and thought Leno at 10 would fix it. Well, what I was talking about is when Leno came back later, when they pushed Conan back in the time. Lauren, do you remember, did Leno come back at 9 or 9:30? How did that work?
It's been too long now. I don't remember exactly where the time slots were. I just know that he came and went a couple of different times, and they were trying to position it as something other than a late night talk show when he was doing the early thing.
Right.
And that just flatly wasn't working. It wasn't the right time or format. And I think that their perception was that Conan wasn't drawing the audience that they wanted for the late night time slot. And so they regretted the decision of pushing Leno out early. And they sort of approached him and said, look, we made a mistake. Can we entice you back? And Jay said, heck, yes, you can. And that's when I think they pushed Conan later.
Clay Napier for 2. It didn't work. O'Brien got screwed and Jay got paid. Yeah. I do think that Conan O'Brien ultimately definitely got screwed. His ratings were not bad. He was performing as you would expect a new late night comic to do, far better than what we've got today. And they kicked him to the curb. So I don't know. I don't know why. I love, by the way, Conan O'Brien, some of the best. He does a really good job of back and forth with other guests. One of them being a puppet dog, right? Triumph the comic insult dog. Some of those Conan O'Brien skits, like where he goes and mocks the Star Wars nerds. That is.
Oh, I miss those.
That is comedy gold. The one where Conan goes to an old-timey baseball league. Do you guys remember that? Where Conan found a league in New York where people played 1920s style baseball, and he went and just ripped them and found an attractive woman who played also, and then just kept hitting on her. Some of the funniest stuff. And then the Jordan Schlansky skits are just wonderful. Oh my gosh. They're comedy gold, I tell you. Bad Hombre Burke for 5, completely different subject. Flowers for Algernon. Any thoughts? How about Silent Running? To me, Robertson and Dern were really fine. Any thoughts?
So when I was in high school, I was in the drama club, and we were supposed to do a production of Flowers for Algernon, and the school administration actually shut it down because they considered the subject matter too sensitive, and so we never actually got to produce the play. Outside of that, I never saw a movie production of it, so couldn't comment on that.
You were in the drama club?
Yes, believe it or not.
Oh, no, that explains a lot.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I got forced to be in a high school play one time.
I was
a teacher. A teacher
never would have guessed. But of the two of us, Wiz, I think that you're the more obvious pick.
I was the theater kid. Oh no!
Oh no! I got in a situation where a teacher had agreed to be in a play and decided he didn't want to do it, and he asked me to do it. Will you take my place? And he actually said, I'll give you extra credit in class. I was like, sure, I'll do it. And so the drama teacher was very strict, and I didn't realize this, and I didn't care. Like, I had no stakes in this. I'm getting extra credit. And I took a stodgy, very old play and basically decided I was going to ad-lib everything. And I just remember in the play, I did it, changed the whole thing. It was terrible, and I fixed it. And the theater was going crazy. Everybody assembled was having fun because I'm doing all this stuff that nobody knows I'm going to do. Now, I'll give you an example. It was supposed to be this stodgy 1950s kind of play, and I'm playing a doctor, and I had slipped some food up one of my sleeves. And as I'm doing CPR, I told the guy on stage, I said, cough. And he, and I threw the food item. I think it was an apple or an orange or something, but I threw the food item out of, it made it look like he coughed it straight up in the air. I caught it, took a bite of it right on stage, and the audience like, what? And the very strict drama teacher, I think, almost stroked out because all I heard, I'm not going to say my real name, but all I heard, let's say that my name is Ferdinand. Okay. If my real name is Ferdinand, all I heard from behind the curtains was this elderly drama teacher going, Ferdinand. And it went through the entire play as long as I took the stage. And then, every time I'd come off the stage, she'd be like hitting me with the script. That's not in but she had no choice and I don't care. I'm getting extra credit in another class. I don't even belong in this thing. It was
like
glorious.
To me.
You think I'm making it up?
That's funny.
Ferdinand.
Oh, Ferdinand. Darn it. That's good. He got me. Let's see. Wait a minute. Did I get that right? Okay, we got that one. Oh, I see why. Okay. I'll explain why I thought I had missed that one. Snarky from 199. Thank you, Pro, Wiz, and Lorne for a great show. Oh man, let me tell you, I came into this show tonight, and sometimes this is the case. I came into this show tonight fatigued, and I had a headache. Honestly, I probably worked a little too hard today, and took some Tylenol. But It's amazing to me that within 30 minutes of doing a show, almost always, I get into these and I think, how freaking lucky are we? How freaking lucky are we to live at a time and to have been given the opportunity to, I mean, we're sitting at almost 1,000 people watching us across the different platforms right now, just to gather together and to make people smile and laugh and cover bad news, but do it in a way that's, you know, it's not dire, it's not awful, it's not drama. Man, what an honor. What an honor to share time with you all. Thank you.
I came into this with a headache, and now I've got a migraine and can't see.
Oh, my right eye's gone blurry on me.
I can't see.
Let me tell you, yesterday's show when we started and StreamYard had screwed up and the only person that I could see or hear was Caro. I thought we were screwed. I thought, well, that's what a show this is going to be. Clay Napier, this is why I got confused on the last one. 5. Flowers of, and Lauren, how do I say this again?
Algernon.
Algernon, yeah.
Okay. Flowers for Algernon. Talk about crying. Had to read the book in the 9th grade and then watch the movie in class. As bad as Of Mice and Men.
Yep. That's why they canceled it in our school. It deals with some sensitive topics and they're not happy ones.
Huh. We watched Romeo and Juliet from the 70s, and the teacher forgot to hit the skip button in a certain part, and we had a substitute for a long time.
Suddenly, you got really interested in Shakespeare.
Yeah. My eyes perked right up. Clay Napier for 2. Jay's image took a hit, and is how he paid. That's how he paid, Jay. Yeah, bad situation. All right, guys. We have one more story. We'll make it short, okay? We've got one more story. We'll run through this quickly. I don't think it's going to take much. But, folks, I do want to hit this one because it does matter. I think it's another example of Disney being forced to learn a lesson they don't want to accept. But you all are making it happen. What is it? We'll talk about it, and we'll do it right now. All right, the Walt Disney Company is going all in on a cartoon they don't own. It's Bluey. And they're feeling very cheeky about this one. Folks, keep you uppy with me as we dive in. No more puns, I promise. But from the Disney Parks blog, it's official. Everything you need to know about Bluey at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, Mallory Hines led it, and we'll zoom in so you all can read it with us. She's telling us about cool kids summer and all this stuff. But what you really need to know is Walt Disney Company finally has figured out a way to get Bluey, which they don't own, into their theme parks. And you won't believe how insanely popular it is. Hang tight. It says, beginning May 26th and sticking around beyond the summer, Bluey's Wild World at Conservation Station will welcome mates of all ages to play. And you can see wallabies and kangaroos hopping around at Jumping Junction.
Those aren't real animals.
Yeah. It's going to be... What? You said those aren't real animals?
Yeah. I like that you just agreed with it until your brain caught up.
Says when Bluey's Wild World at Conservation Station opens on May 26th, it will use a virtual queue. Guests will need to join the virtual queue to experience Bluey's Wild World at Conservation Station, the Wildlife Express train, Jumping Junction, and the animal care experiences at Conservation Station. While a standby queue will not be available during the location's initial opening period, we expect to open a standby queue at a later date. And then it goes on to explain how you can get access to this essentially petting zoo. Now, the crazy thing about this is that this is just a very simple train ride, and they're having to do a virtual queue, which is you got to get on your phone, you got to get a reservation, you got to do all this stuff just to ride the train and see some people dressed as Bluey with some kangaroos and wallabies that you can pet. Now, let me go to the map of this. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, folks. If we go to Animal Kingdom, this is Animal Kingdom. This is at Walt Disney World. Okay, everybody see the tree? Look at that tree. That's a good-looking tree. That's a nice tree. I like that tree. All right, if we go up here, folks, okay, this is the train station right here. You get on the little train right here and do, and ignore all this. You can't see this when you're in the park. You don't know that's there, okay? But you ride the train tracks. Woo, woo, woo. Here we go. Going up here. And then you get off right here. You get off at this little spot. And then you walk up these. It's forever to get here, okay? You walk up here. And finally, what do you get to? This building which, nobody knows there's parking lots and buildings around you. Rafiki's Planet Watch, Conservation Station, temporarily closed. It's reopening with Bluey, okay? Now, nobody ever did this. It's always incredibly sparse, but suddenly they add Bluey to it, and they don't have enough space, even with a train, even with a courtyard up here. They don't have enough space to handle this. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, everybody can say, "Well, that's just the news, bro. My gosh, what is this all about? Get somewhere, man." Where's the Proud Family? Where's all the stuff Disney actually makes and cares about? Where's New Jedi, Young Jedi, whatever that thing was? Where's the new version of the Muppet Babies? All the woke little kid stuff nobody cares about. But by golly, traditional Bluey, with the mom and the dad playing with the kids and taking care of them, and everybody loves each other, and traditional values. Oh my gosh. We have to set up a freaking virtual queue to handle how popular this is for a petting zoo in the back of the park. Gentlemen, I actually think this is proof positive that Disney went one way. They got ultra lucky. They picked up Bluey, which is just a licensing thing. And now they're desperately like, oh yeah, it's definitely part of the Disney family now. And it's BBC, which is crazy too, but for a different reason. Guys, what do you think about the idea that Disney tried to put all this kids content into the woke era? It all failed spectacularly. And now they're doing all this with a cartoon they don't own.
Because they're that desperate, as you said, bro. I mean, this is all of the IP that they've got. They have found a way to devalue it, to diminish it. And so now all they have left truly is Bluey. Like, that's it. Here's the deal. Like you said, Muppet Babies or Proud Family or something. If
they put Gonzo in a dress.
They put Gonzo in a dress. But think about that, though. The Muppets is culturally irrelevant. They just did, I think it was earlier this year, 2026. We had the Muppet Show special. That was a cough in the wind. Nobody cares. You can't resuscitate the Muppets. You can't bring them back. You've destroyed them. You can't bring Star Wars back. You've destroyed it. You can't bring Pixar. Pixar movies aren't succeeding anymore. All they have is Bluey. So I can't say I'm surprised that they're cashing in on this. I also wouldn't, to some extent, I also wouldn't be surprised if they were tweaking the numbers a little bit to make it look to make it look even bigger than it really is. They don't need to, but they could. Because I just don't trust this company anymore. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter that you're going to have a lot of people going to see Bluey, but they are going to milk this for as long as they can. And they're going to make it look like there is a line to see Bluey every day for the next however many months that they have this license to have Bluey in the park. It's going to go until the very end.
Here's why I think, Wiz, that the numbers may be real for this one. It's because in some ways, Bluey has humiliated them. Now, they don't come out and say that, but you think about this. Disney Plus was supposed to be this place that families go for kids to watch all this content, right? All this legacy Disney content, and also a place that they could promote Star Wars and Marvel. And the only thing that Disney Plus is known for right now, by far the number one show on Disney Plus, and it's not close, is Bluey. In fact, Bluey is so darn popular, Disney doesn't own it. Bluey, they can't merchandise in it. Bluey is so darn popular that it outperforms Marvel and Star Wars combined on Disney Plus, Wiz.
I think Disney doesn't care anymore. they don't, but they don't see it as being humiliated. They see it as, well, it's working, so run with it. They don't have an emotional connection to characters like we do, or like you do at home. They don't care about Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. They don't care. They don't care about Bluey. They don't care about Kermit the Frog. They don't care about Winnie the Pooh. They care about what produces money today. End of list. End of story. So if you fall for it, because that's how they kind of see it. They see it as setting a trap. They don't really see it as like connecting with people, inspiring people, telling stories, forging generations. They just care about profit margins now. That's it. So if this license generates tons of profit, success.
All right, let's talk about that then, because this is where I'd like to go with it. Is if we go back to Animal Kingdom, this is of course one of the 4 big theme parks in Disney, and it's one of the underperformers, right? Hollywood Studios is underperforming. This one's underperforming, and folks, you see all this land that's out here that's just unused, largely unused. It sits north of parts of the Asia area. It's to the east of the Kilimanjaro safaris. That's important for a minute, okay? Just to get your bearings, okay? As the famous YouTuber who eats all kinds of disgusting foods often says, "Got to get my bearings straight. Got to get my bearings straight." Here's the tree, okay? North of Feathered Friends in Flight, there's this huge expanse of area. If Bluey is so darn popular that a dinky little petting zoo and a dinky, stinky little train ride that nobody does now has to have a virtual queue to handle the kinds of enthusiasm. If that's what's happening, if Disney can grab hold of Bluey for long term, I'm telling you, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if one of the very few things Disney would be willing to spend on is to put an expansion out in this area, which would be Australia. Because if people are going crazy to pet the wallabies and the kangaroos, they'll throw in a platypus or two. I don't care if Lauren says they're fake animals. They probably are. But they'll throw in the Australian animals and they'll tie it into Bluey if they can get that Bluey deal done, because this is money, money, money.
They've already got Perry. They put Perry the platypus there, and I'll go pet him.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on now. You're right. Combine Perry with Bluey and bada bing, bada boom. We got a duo IP situation here. Lauren, what say you? Is this an indictment of Disney, the fact that the kids' content they cratered is gone and Bluey still goes on and everybody loves it, everybody wants it?
I tend to look at it the same way that Fake Wizard is, which is I think that they produced a whole lot of stuff that was just intended to be content because they needed to fill out content in the Disney Plus queue, so that when kids put something on, they hit play, it plays, and then it plays the next thing, and it plays the next thing. They just needed content. They don't really care if it hits or not, as long as it's playing in the background so that advertisers want to advertise. If Bluey is the thing that's making bank, they're going to make whatever deal they need to make to capitalize on that to the nth degree. I think the one thing that I would push back on is if you think that they're going to expand that area into an Australia section, then what they need to do first is secure long-term rights to Bluey to make sure that they don't go somewhere else first.
Oh, I totally agree with you. If they get the long-term rights for the theme park and for the streaming, Australia is going back there. And it's not because they love Australia. It's not because they love Kiwis. It's because they love money and they love Bluey, and Bluey makes money. And maybe Perry does too.
Just wait till you see the Golden Orb Spider section.
if they could outright buy Bluey, they would spend more money than they did on Star Wars.
They would. Bluey's, gosh, I don't know. Bluey is worth lots and lots and lots of billions of dollars.
Billions.
I don't want to say that's worth 10 billion, but I mean Bluey is in the top 5 streaming shows forever. It's just always there on 10-minute episodes. So what's that worth? Lady Gamester says it's not safe to pet kangaroos, really, even though Disney is doing this. Lady Gamester, don't worry. Just like the lobsters at your local grocery market, the kangaroos will have their legs tied. So it's all good. And don't worry. PETA loves it because, it's Disney.
They're all actually just floating in a water tank, really.
Oh, boy. We all live in a yellow... Oh, no, here we go, folks. Back to the Super Chats. Bad Hombre Berkey for 2. Cliff Robertson Oscar. Lauren, flowers of or flowers for?
Algernon.
We've got Paul 12,000 for 10. This is going to be a mess. They have to take a train to and from the area. They'll have to worry about virtual queue. Lots more to say, but I don't have $300 to say it all. I work there. Paul, I agree with you. Listen, how you get people out of there? You're going to have to put them on a timer or something. People will stay, and then that messes up the virtual queue tremendously. And by the way, we predicted this on That Park Place. I said over there months and months ago when we found out about it, it's not going to work. This is not going to work well because the train is an impediment to pedestrian traffic. So we've got Bruce for $1.99. They put Gonzo in a dress that Mr. Pascal wanted. That's why they canceled the Muppets. At least the Muppet Kids, the Muppet Babies, because they got to keep Pedro away from that one. Folks, tomorrow at noon Eastern, don't miss it. Critical Drinker is stopping by, and we're going to talk about the smooch heard round the world. Pedro smooching Kimmel. Finally, we believe that is a real bromance. Lady Gamester for $1.99. Power to the Niners. Visions of Trust. Kangaroos. I'm horrified. Yep. Declawed, defooted, and debased. All right, folks. He's based. He's Lorne, and you can find him on Lorne and Apollo Friday evening at 11 p.m. Lorne, what else you got going on, buddy? And by the way, congrats. You've been executive producing and moving some channels out there, and the success we're seeing with places like that Park Place is just crazy. Well done, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to see that our numbers are going up on viewership for that Park Place, and we've also gotten over 4,000 subscribers on that Pod Place, which is advantageous. And if you have not yet liked, subscribed, or commented on some of our videos over there, I'd greatly appreciate that. Engagement helps us with the algorithm. You'll see me tomorrow night on the M4 Empire with Marv and the gang, and I float around this channel all the time. You can't hardly walk through the courtyard without tripping over me somewhere.
That's right. And Wiz, continuing to grow and grow, taking off like no other YouTube channel before. Any targets on your radar right now?
Well, we just crossed 130,000 subscribers today on the main channel, and we got monetized on the live channel today. So that's pretty cool. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern for Culture Crossfire with Marvin Montanaro and myself. So that's going to be fun.
Crossfire. Yeah. Sorry, can't get over it.
That was the idea. that was the point.
Yep. All right. Well, you slacker. Come on, step it up on YouTube. All right, folks, we got to go. We got to get out of here. Before we do, though, anybody have a suggestion for a redirect? If you are out there, folks, in the chat, and you know a channel that maybe we could surprise them right now, who would you suggest? Tell us real quick. Who would you send us to? We'd love to know. Put in the chat who you think we should go to, and we will get that redirect set up. While we wait on that answer, one more time, Lorne, it's for you.
The shadow grows. We must act. The enemy has found the roost. Our arrows are ready, but we need a plan. Then we fly to Mordor. Flock! For the plan. By the line of rooster, take that, you brave. What have they done?
Mountains whisper tales of fire and frost. Shadows rise where the borders are lost. Through the woods where the ancient ones sing, I hear the call of the
folks, you sent out some suggestions, and you had some great ones, including Ryan Cannell and Vash. We're huge fans of both of those guys. We redirected to Vash, I believe, a week ago, but the very first one that was sent our way is Smash JT, and so we've decided, of course, to send you to Hassan Piker instead. No, I'm kidding! Since Smash JT was suggested first, that'll be the one we go to. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the reason we're not redirecting tonight is not, or to the Hollywood Backlot with Lou and you, which you were expecting, is not because of any issues whatsoever, except for some scheduling stuff early AMs tomorrow for some of our panelists there. So we're going to not be hosting that show tonight. Don't forget that Park Place Live is back again on Fridays. They took a 2-week hiatus, but Jonas is back. Had to bring him back. And that means this Friday at noon, don't miss out on TPP. All right, folks, sending you to Smash JT. Have a great one. Have a good one. And tomorrow, even better than before.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Mass here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say, as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.